Cooning, they got a lead goddamn black goddamn actor here, Paul Robeson. These niggas here, you didn't get it. Niggas looking at me like a goddamn Shaq Fu or some shit. These niggas here have no cultural appreciation. Who that nigga on that neck? What? We on. Hey, yo, what's the fuck going on in here, man? Hey, yo, somebody clip that, man. God damn. This is supposed to be fable right here. Oh, my goddamn microphone at right here. Goddamn.
Start soon. Soon. You tweet this shit out.
This looks pretty good. What you talking about? This right here. Not no goddamn Bone Stars. Who's that right there? Who's this black dude? They got Fox UK in this motherfucker. Black dude with a white wig on.
Yo. Hold on. I'm trying to fix my
goddamn baby, what the hell is this?
Picture, the thumbnail. Let me put this thumbnail in there. And then we got Jaydub coming through. And we got some dog shit topics. Just started a dog shit console war.
Tall African.
It's real. Hold the line.
Goddamn.
Hold the line.
World premiere. Like the goddamn theme for the PJs. My brother Sony Prophet. Oh, this white woman up here. And so they didn't run out of gas again. Man, what the fuck is this? No! What the fuck is this? Who plays this weird here? No. That shit look bad. No. It's about getting what you gonna visit me now, nigga? No. I got 12 teeth flops. Oh. You're gonna see us thieves. I know this ain't no goddamn.
Alright, let me tweet. Tweet. Shout out to the chat, man.
Goddamn Honeymooners rerun. I love Lucy rerun.
Sorry you couldn't see the screen. My bad, OG.
No days is number plan. 5 years in the goddamn row.
Lil Rodney with the fat ass.
What? Your daddy. Ask for your mama, husband left you.
Your mama, your daddy, your greasy ass granny. That's old school. That's elementary school shit.
Monkey Island. The legend of Monkey's ass. They got money, yo, that motherfucker. They got a black road damn bar. No. What? That's not a goddamn thing. Why do you keep digging it up, bro?
It still ain't saving my thumbnail, man.
These shots are making past some native country. Monkey Island. They got posters, motherfucker. The Grubhub Club. That's a chick. They fly chickens across the guys. Monkey Island. Man, who the fuck, bro? 5 years in the goddamn road.
Come on, man.
Monkey Island, dude. I've been told. Goddamn hamster.
Keep your lady close. Make sure she can work a bone. But they wouldn't refer to strippers. I'm still buffet with the clippers. I done been blessed with a woman that pray if it would turn a freak on the liver. She keep the devil loving like the cherubim. She make it clear to hoes that we ain't sharing them. I push then you can eat it like a cherry. DK a legend, hey, we had to bury him. Yeah. But that's how I be in the jungle. I grew up around wild names and bumbles. Ready to slump, murky or jump, yeah.
Sorry, I keep fucking up the video.
I told my baby girl she gon' have more in her head than just product and bundle.
They
say I'm rapping with hunger.
Stay back a few times, ain't no wrong with that.
If you book me for a show and I can't bring my wife and my babies, I'm leaving. Big Daddy energy
speaking. I
keep the enemy tweaking. I can go All on the check and they'll say I'm the hardest one breathing. I am a beacon for heathens.
Star Wars Outlaws. Goddamn, bunch of goddamn microtransactions.
99% of the PlayStation show.
Remember this big chick here?
If you're black, we ain't sick. That's fine. I'ma put it down. This all we ain't sync.
Xbox Game Studio presents.
That's right.
Yeah. Xbox Game Studio presents. Like Sunset Overdrive. It don't look real. Hey, what's up with these goddamn play fighters? It's realistic.
You ready? I'm about to tweet it out.
Are these cameras rolling?
I'm about to tweet it out right now.
Oh, nah.
I'm trying to get these 50s in there. It's tough. Think I got it. I might have to split it in two.
Nah, this right here got to be a goddamn free to play. These graphics is dog. I like the table though. What do you do? Not a goddamn thing. They loop this bitch up. I'm back.
I might have to do it twice. Yeah, that's one. There we go.
Let me goddamn grab
Do a mission and maybe even stumble upon something unexpected.
Right quick. The death ray. See this gunfight right here. Got the goddamn jump from Halo right there. They score like goddamn jump from Halo.
Alright, there we go. Shout out to the chat, man. There's people here. We're ready.
That bitch like it's on the stapler. What's the pow? They got a goddamn stapler out that motherfucker. Goddamn stapler.
I'll tweet it out too.
Office Mac.
We do love stuff and all of the items allowing you to pick everything up. So you can view all that in your
I don't think you hear me, but
got the goddamn
oh, you hear me?
goddamn dolls with that motherfucker. Dolls. What the pow? That's no goddamn law. But I've been shot 10 goddamn times. I ain't never heard a bitch go tick.
Oh yeah, some old classic.
Hold on, man. Wait, hold the goddamn phone here. Wait, that was the goddamn no. Where's the goddamn? Pow! That bitch said tick. Got a goddamn. What the fuck was that? Hey, man.
Microsoft robbed y'all niggas, bro. 500 for
with that goddamn gun right there. That gun said.
I'm sorry for you, everybody.
I ain't never heard a goddamn pistol sound like that.
Well, you know, I'm just getting back from Canada. And, you know, it was cool up there. And then I get back down here where it's 100-degree weather. I started feeling like shit. And, yeah, it's been crazy. I'm supposed to be flying out to London this weekend, and then the following week I'll be in Scotland. So I need just to go ahead and go away. And slept in a couple of days. I feel like shit.
Tony, man, we go out there and talk about shit, though.
Yeah, Buck,
you know what I mean? This is the early round. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, man. Hey, I gotta. Hey, listen, I gotta go slap all them presidents in the face over there. You know what I'm saying?
Power comes great responsibilities, and
I had to come back home for 14. Nah. Ain't like your girl, Brittany Griner.
Yo,
what's good, brother? What's good?
Yo, we can hear y'all talking on Buck's Live, so you might want to mute yourself.
I'm the most deadliest mosquito in the jungle. Damn. What? Mosquito?
No, that's cool.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, we just bullshitting.
Yeah.
Y'all talking low.
Yeah.
Oh, we talking. Oh, well.
Well, I'll mute this in the background.
Yeah.
I was just trying to put these videos on there at the beginning so motherfuckers could see them. That's all. Yeah, I'm gonna turn it down. Hold on.
Just let the video play, but just mute the audio today.
Yeah.
So you know.
Make sure we got the Discord up.
Anyway.
Let me see. Yeah, I monitor everything, so I'm obviously just doing it by eyeball.
We are.
I got the game on in the background, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. My brother Levon was good with you.
Levon Kaysen, the producer, super producer.
My brother, how
to do this on, Buck?
What up?
Yeah, shit, we live now.
Yeah.
I told Buck, I told Buck just hit the camera, hit the lights.
Yeah,
Let's go.
yeah. Oh, I was telling people like, hey, just come in. If you want to go live, go live. You know, I'm gonna fucking hit it. Shit, you never know. My shit might break down. You know.
Facts.
Fucking record it, whatever.
Hey, you should have titled it Buck goes in on Jaydub live. And now you get all the Xbox guys over here.
Well, so far we got
how many people we got here? Come on, Buck. I gotta recruit some people. God,
I mean, we so far Briarios.
I gotta go to the Jaydub channel and drag some motherfuckers over.
Mello is Lil Rodney's son is here.
Yeah, what's good, y'all? I'm under the weather.
Yeah.
Your brother has been international the last couple of weeks, so
how's that Rogue Ally been?
Oh, I love it, man. I love it. The only downside, because I was on a plane, I was like on a 4-hour flight, and of course I bought the Anchor 737 battery, and it charges it up, the Ally, from 0% to 80% in like 20 minutes. So that's really quick. So what I did is I just plugged it in and just used the juice off of it until it was drained. And then, that took about 2 hours to drain it. And then the Ally built-in battery, that gave me another hour and a half. But if you got a Rogue Ally, set your play all your games inside your games. Turn it to 720p.
Wait. I thought this had 824.
Oh, the girl.
No. I'm gonna give you. I'm trying to give you some tips.
Jay, I can't even get.
Okay.
Jay from where?
Pro tips.
Because the screen size
Jay from South Carolina
versus the resolution.
And you know me how? You know me where?
Is so minuscule. It won't. You won't tell the difference. Visually, you won't tell the difference, but performance-wise, you're gonna give yourself an extra 10 frames, 10, 15 frames.
Okay.
So on the Rogue Ally, on the ROG software, in the center, if you turn the AMD RSR on, that's that upscaling stuff. Keep that on at all times. Just keep it on. Man, your performance is going to be running beautifully. And then inside your games, you can turn your settings up to, most of my settings on all my games be like high. In like most of my games.
Okay.
Now, you can try to force 1080p if you want, but if you do 1080p resolution natively, you're going to have to change your settings to like medium and stuff like that. Depending on how many frames you want, right? You can get, most of your games, you can get 60, but I always keep my refresh rate at 120 because it just feels better. The responsiveness is a lot better. It just is. Trust me. So I'd rather to get, 70, 80 frames, closer to 100 frames, than to just have it locked at 60. The input lag it kind of removes that input lag. Yeah.
Interesting.
And of course, not every game you got to be in, turbo mode. Some games, it's better to just be at performance mode. That'll buy you extra 30 minutes, 45 minutes of battery time. And another thing, some games, especially like a lot of pixel, little, not so graphically intensive game, you can actually play it on the low power mode.
Yeah, but why does you?
Yeah, so playing games and stuff like that. Like I was playing Metal Gear Solid 5 on my trip to Canada. And I played that for like 4.5 hours. And I just did it on regular performance. I could have got away with the low power mode because the game is really optimized. But but I just that 60 is just I can't go less than 30 for something like that. You know, that's why we buy the handheld, so we can do stuff like that. Now when I'm playing Overwatch 2 or something like that, always at 120, and my settings are always high. What else? Like I said, all my games to resolution at 720p. So that allowed me to have all my settings high, you know, and then with the AMD RSR turned on or whatever. It's clean, it's fast, efficient. Then it don't use a lot of power. So,
damn, like, where's Pastor at? Come on, Pastor, I know you're out there.
Oh man,
get your ass in here and get this ass with.
Pastor Joe trying to
go get your leg, bro.
He trying to join that Xbox Illuminati. I heard he up there throwing the Illuminati, the last place Illuminati sign.
Yeah. Hold the line. Hold the line.
Listen, nah, fuck that, Buck. I'm running the show today, brother. As long as I can. As long as my voice.
You see the topics?
Listen,
take it wherever you want.
Y'all know, Z been MIA for a little bit. I've been MIA, you know, traveling and stuff for a little bit. These bots have lost their fucking minds.
Yeah.
It was just literally 3 weeks ago, a month ago. Phil Spencer came out on that stage in that interview and said the console war is over. They can't compete with Sony and Nintendo, and they're gonna focus on mobile and in the cloud, right?
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, these motherfuckers like
they had an out. That was their escape hatch.
Yeah.
This was this court shit.
And basically they said, you know, the console is pretty much, you know, not their main focus anymore. And these dudes are out here acting like fucking Xbox the One generation. They popping champagne bottles and stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Like
this Hail Mary. I think this little Hail Mary they're doing right now, it could work too. But what it's done is it's kind of like, I thought the interview was almost like the nail in the coffin for what we knew as the old Xbox brand. But this is like you're actively, it's like self-immolation. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You're saying, I'm gonna fucking burn it all down because you're exposing everything. You're exposing Sony. You're just like saying, fuck the gaming industry. I'm gonna fuck up not only our fucking shit, but I'm gonna leave it fucking disastrous for everybody else too.
But Buck, you probably remember me saying this about a year ago, year and a half ago, when I saw that Microsoft didn't really care about the Xbox and the hardware itself anymore. I said I'd rather, right? And you know, I own all the Xbox consoles and everything. I said I'd rather for Microsoft to go ahead and get out of gaming.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if they can't be number
how you gonna say that though? How you gonna say that?
Well, he's got a point coming up.
What up, brother? Let me finish. Yeah. But if you can't win by buying everything, you rather just burn everything down and then you don't really care. You don't have the passion for gaming. I
don't remember you saying that, but that's what I took from. That's what I took from this court shit. I said that last week when I was watching. I'm like, this is like they're like self-immolating in front of everybody, saying fuck everything. You know, it could still work and get them the deal done, but at what cost? It's like this. It's weird.
Yeah, but this is what happened, right? It's like the gaming side, full of the gamers, the people who remember the Gears and the Halos, and the people that just enjoyed everything about the OG Xbox and the 360. I hate to say it, but those people, it's like they're no more, right? They either went to PlayStation or PC. And then this new group of Xbox gamers that had just kind of came last generation, it seemed like, they're these ones now. They're the we love Phil people. We love the executives people. They don't really care about the games. They don't really care about the console. I mean, it seems like, right? Look at the sales. Look at everything else. You know, there's really no disappointment for anything that's coming, or anything for the launch of the generation with no games. They was okay with that. Going all 2022 with no games, they were okay with that. So these guys are literally okay with all of the fuck shit or the lack of just inspiration and the lack of just the willing to be prepared for a new generation.
And Jaydub, they just got a W today, though, brother.
Okay, brother. Okay, I'm thank God. I'm praying for him now. So this new group of gamers, right? This new group of gamers that they don't remember
maybe bots.
things.
Well, we'll talk about that later.
They don't. Yeah, maybe so, right? But they don't. It's like that passion that we had for the games back then. They don't have that same passion. They care about Microsoft making more trillions of dollars, right? Or they want payback for last generation, for Sony winning last generation, right? And I always go back to this argument. Why did Sony win last generation? Oh, because of Donnie D. Okay, well, let's go back to previous generation when the Xbox won, right? Okay. Your console launched almost 2 years earlier before Sony, right? Sony had all the fuck ups and all that, and they still came back to be able to sell overall. Now they did Xbox 360. I give them the W for that. How you felt, how we felt, how I felt about the Xbox 360.
I thought so.
Is how we wanted to feel about the Xbox One and the Xbox Series consoles. Those days are gone. That management that was there is no longer there. And these guys love the management that's there now. And that's the problem. And this is why Phil said what he said. This is why they're forever going to be last place. Because, I mean, he even mentioned it. Remember, it came out in the documents?
Yeah.
He said something to the effect of like, we just got to sell it to our fans. They'll love it. They'll, He literally said that. I have the article in my phone, and so we can go word for word and read it. But it's basically like he knows all you gotta do is convince these dumbasses, and everybody else will follow. It don't matter.
And I think they're doing it slow.
Very telling. That's very telling, right? Yeah. And I get it, right?
It's like UFO disclosure.
And the rest of them, I know y'all want to debate and all this stuff, but listen, I'm gonna let y'all have it. And the reason I'm gonna let y'all have it, because the console war is over. It's been over. We just been going with the fuck shit. It's Sony's already sold, 2-1 right now, going damn near hitting 3-1 at this point in time, right? There's nothing they can do that's going to change that. So, what is the new argument going to be? If it's about arguing mobile, if it's arguing about money, stuff like that, I don't care to partake in it. I'm gonna just.
I was trying to give them the dub because today, when I said they got a W today, they finally got a 10-year-old game in Game Pass in GTA 5. So that's what that's gonna be the next W that they're gonna congratulate themselves about, a 10-year-old game. So.
Yeah,
that's the only W I can get him, man. It's a AAA game, but it's 10 years old. So
here's my thing, man. Like, even if this deal goes through, which I hope it does, I just like what is it a win for? What are you really getting? The console war is over. Like the hardware is over. Phil already said there's no mid-gen refresh. He said the Xbox Series X is a mid-gen refresh, right? We heard that from the horse's mouth doing the thing.
That's mid-gen.
Yeah. And so this whole court case, and this is the downside of when you're going to trial and stuff. You can say what you want on Twitter and to your fans on stage at the events, but when your ass is sworn under oath, all the truth comes out, right? You get everybody coming out telling the truth. And so all them documents, some of the stuff wasn't redacted properly.
Just makes them all look bad too.
Now here's the thing: the biggest argument from what I saw with a lot of people, for as much as I caught out with it, was Sony was just buying up everything. It was buying up everything, and I'm like, wait, you telling me the company with the smallest amount of money is able to outspend the guys with the godly amount of money? How is that possible? I hate to say it, but if Buck drives a Buick, there's no way in hell he's supposed to be able to beat my Lambo, right? So why am I complaining that his Buick, he put a couple of turbos under the hood of his Buick and he's whooping my ass? I done spent $400,000 for this vehicle. He done spent maybe 15 max, brand new, So I don't understand why you acting like it was Phil Spencer and those guys that said they didn't want to do third-party deals. Supposedly, right? We had panel members Phil don't want to do third party deals. He want to be able to own the IPs and do all that. We heard this shit for years and years and years. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So after hearing all this stuff for years, all the stuff, and the stuff comes out in this court case, now it's really making sense. Microsoft didn't think that they were really wanted to be into gaming. So therefore they didn't invest for 3 whole years. And by the time they start trying to invest, Sony had already built relationships with these people. Not just spending money with them, but offering them to send their hardware designers and development teams over to help them with that stuff. Even saying, listen, I'll pay for the marketing for this game. The dude from Final Fantasy, was it Yoshi P? He said that. He said, if you add up the amount of money that they spent sending their developers over here to help us and to pay for all the marketing for this game, that's like fucking $10, $20 million that we would have had to pay out of our pocket for that. They offered that to us as a service. So of course we're gonna be like, hey, why not take that deal? That's a good deal. That makes sure that the game comes out, make sure that, it's very little bugs that's in it, which from what I understand, I've been playing the game, but I know a lot of people beat it, but it wasn't a buggy game. So far, I haven't seen anybody complain about bugs. So with deals like that, you wonder why they're getting Final Fantasy VII Remake. You wonder why they're getting Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, right? Why they're getting Final Fantasy 16 and on and on and on. And this is not just about Square Enix. This is other games too. We got, what's this game up? Baldur's Gate 3? This game can't even run on the goddamn Xbox Series X and S.
Sure.
So who are we gonna keep? We're gonna blame Sony for that too? And I just never understood how could somebody with so many resources. And here's the thing: I keep saying this: Sony is a hardware company. Microsoft is a software company. So all this generation for the last 3 years, they've been talking about wait for the software, wait for the tools. We got to wait for the development tools. Okay, we waited. Nothing came of that. Then they started moving the needle down the line, the next Blame game. And I hope Starfield comes out. I hope it's going to be great. Y'all know I bought the collector's edition. But if it's a dud, what are we going to do then? Are we going to keep kicking the can down the road and blaming, well, it's Todd Howard's fault, or it's this, and it wasn't enough time, or the tools. Dude, at what point are you going to say, hey, listen, we just got a bad management. These motherfuckers don't know what a good game is. They don't know how to run a studio outside of the Halo, Gears, and Forza, which those franchises have been on the decline, except Forza Horizon. That's a consistent because they really don't change much, but the locations every year anyway. So what do y'all think about that, man?
I'm wondering where the fucking bots are right now. Why? I thought they were like all happy and shit because they had this awesome fucking court case and embarrassed the FTC. Where the fuck?
Wait, wasn't it supposed to be a ruling today?
I don't know. I mean, it could come anytime.
I think Post said it was supposed to be this week.
Like it could be tomorrow, it could be Friday or whatever, where the judge decides.
Oh, but let's say it goes through and they're allowed to do it.
Yeah.
Damn, as Xbox gamers, what are they going to get out of it? They already don't buy games anyway, right? So
they're going to get a temporary dopamine.
They're gonna say they're getting Call of Duty for free. That's what they're gonna say.
Oh, it'll be a nice dopamine hit for like a week. They'll be like all like happy, thinking that just like when they announced it the first time. But then that faded away and doesn't really do you much. It's just bragging rights.
Okay. They got Call of Duty and Overwatch for free. They got all that shit, right? All them games for free and Game Pass. What's different than what they had before? All their games.
I know that's what I'm always saying to Ridge. We have access to all of this stuff already.
Yes.
Everything that it's like we have access to it. Nothing has changed. It's just nothing would change.
It doesn't. Now here's the thing. Any normal human being, right, knows that you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
If you see a sign that says free food, you're gonna find an empty restaurant. You know why?
Because it's gonna have roaches in it.
Nobody's gonna trust that. Nobody trusts anything that's free.
Yeah.
if some chick stop you on the side of the road and say, "Hey," she open her legs and say, "Hey, Buck."
yeah.
I mean, I don't know, Buck. You might go in, but the average person
yeah, you know what that means.
Skeptical, right? Yeah. Nah, I don't. You ain't gonna trust
for free. It's too capital. It doesn't make any sense that they can somehow. It's going to be, not only is it going to be good for you and your wallet, it's going to make more competition and shit. Even though when you're gobbling up other companies, that's less competition. So the whole thing on its face value doesn't make any sense.
Now it's a different. I would have a different outlook if, let's just say this, right? This company was about to go out of business. Let's take it at what's the Hellblade to Ninja Theory. I heard those guys weren't doing so well, and they was probably going to go out of business. So Microsoft scooped them up. Mm-hmm. That's a good deal.
Yeah,
that's a good solid deal. You can take your resources and make them better.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft, right? You take an ABK that's at the top of their prime. These guys are cranking out Call of Duties every year. They're making money hand over fist, just unlimited amounts of money. And I get it. Microsoft is a corporation and they want money. But as a gamer, I don't care about the corporation's money. I care about making a product better for me as a consumer. So when I do spend my money, I'm getting a great deal. Microsoft hasn't showed us anything within the last 15 years to say these guys are going to make somebody better. As a matter of fact, it's the opposite. Because all we've been seeing and all they've been proving to us is that everything that they've bought, like something come out janky with it. It's always something, right? We got the bleeding edge. Right. And it's like, okay, I mean, all right, fine. It was a pet project. Right. All right, cool. Then the Battletoads, and then it's all of these passion projects and excuses that Xbox.
That's why the Sega shit is like pissing me off this week. People were talking about they should buy Sega and shit. It's like, why do you want them to Vince McMahon Sega? Basically, is what you're saying. You want them to buy them so they can bury them. So you could say, "Oh, they own fucking Sonic. You can't play Sonic now. You have to get an like that's what they want. They want the bragging rights." When it's like,
well, when I think of Sonic, I think of Nintendo, if anything, and Xbox.
I'm gonna be honest. When I think of Sega, I think of Sega. I don't think of Microsoft. Yeah. Right? And I know people like to say, "Well, they did have they did help make the operating system for." Yeah, but make it a fucking Windows.
I just think of Rare
CE edition for it's totally different than actually fucking making a console.
I just think of Rare because like, look what they've done to those IPs. They haven't really done very much.
Yes, yeah. Anybody who ever joined Microsoft, look at Lionhead. What happened to them? Right, they were at the top of their game. Then Microsoft asked them, and so
the only thing that would change would be okay. Maybe they leave them alone. They do their own fucking thing, and the only difference is the check goes to Microsoft instead. That's like the only thing that would change. But I don't understand why people would want that. Yeah,
that's my point. If you're just there to as a gamer, right? I'm speaking from a gamer standpoint, not a financial advisor or investor or anything like that, right? Just a gamer. Every time Sony or Nintendo, Sony mostly does an acquisition, first thing the PlayStation dudes say is, okay, how does this make PlayStation better? How does that benefit me as a PlayStation gamer? I remember when they first bought Bungie, everybody was like, okay, well, they bought it, but if the games aren't going to be exclusive, how the fuck that's going to benefit me? That's the first thing PlayStation dudes said. And then so Sony came out and did a statement. Yeah, we bought them not to take games away, but we got them for their expertise in running multiplayer games as a service game. So they explained it to people and then it made sense. I was like, okay, cool. All right, that makes sense. You got some shit cooking and you want somebody who knows how to monetize this shit. Okay, cool, that makes sense. But nobody was out there saying, yeah, Destiny 2 finna be exclusive and this and that. No, nobody said that because once they said it, I was like, why the hell would you buy Bungie? But the only thing that came to my mind is maybe they know that Call of Duty is finna be exclusive, so maybe they want to have a shooter on their own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was the only thing. Right now, dudes are so. I think they're so worried about the executives. They're so worried about Microsoft money. They really don't care about the games. They really like games are optional, and that's this new Xbox generation. And I get it.
Yeah.
You know, I've been telling you for a while, Buck. It's like a club, right? It's like, you know, when you were the cool kid in school, there was always the dark corner over there. So dudes, you know, found a piece of paper on the floor. They decide to ball it up and play basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some shit like that.
Well, I'm starting to see now that there's a little bit more behind the scenes with developing this culture of we're going to be this, like, you know, more social media active and be friendly with the, you know what I mean? That's definitely I definitely see that more now.
It was intentional.
Yeah. It's like, you know,
yeah.
it's like, you know, the NRA, you know, they created the America's, you know, gun culture, you know, this whole patriotic thing about guns that we have now and shit. Kind of reminds me of some stuff like that. It's like they've kind of cultivated this over the years because they didn't really have another choice, and that is the way a lot of corporations do business now. But it's gone overboard with some of this shit.
It's a way to spin it from
it's a lot of
gamers sitting there demanding. What's up, Pastor Joe? It's a way that the gamers I don't know, man. Z was somewhere and Buck had a beer bottle and bust him in the back of the head in the back of the alley or some shit happened between them. But Buck said he running the show now, so I don't know, man.
Shit.
Buck boss man now, so he done cut me a new contract, so I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit.
Man, yeah.
Oh, I thought he was in the Discord. Oh yeah, my bad.
No, he's in the chat. I see him.
George, jump in. Come on. You got to fill us in on why this court case was so important.
I'm sick, man. I can't go back. I can't.
Oh man.
I'm gonna let Pastor Joe make it, man. No, but here's the thing, right? There's the gaming side, and then there's the other side of stuff. I don't care about the other side of stuff. I only care about the gaming side of stuff. But it seems like nobody else care about the gaming side of stuff. They only care about, like, we can't win, we can't beat you in gaming, so we'll beat you in this other stuff that nobody else cares about. And it's like, huh? Oh yeah, our executives, you know, they wine and dine us and they take pictures. It's like, wait, what part of the game is that? I'm not saying nothing's wrong with that, but I thought we were still playing. I thought we were still out here, you know, slap boxing, playing console war. This shit done moved from being console war to Jim Ryan don't come out there and shake y'all hand, and he don't call y'all on the phone, and you know what I'm saying? He don't fly y'all out. Like, man, I'm a grown ass man. I'm trying to be flown out with no man, let alone Jim Ryan. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, what up, my brother? Shit. What up?
Yeah, at the end of the day.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I only care about the games. I think Phil kind of what he said, he set an expectation for the hardcore. So the hardcore know what to expect. And then the rest of the stuff, right? The glitz and glamour stuff was more for the non-gamer, the people that just want to belong in a club. Right, I call it a clubhouse, and just high five and
high five rush,
have a camaraderie, just to talk shit and you know, slap Phil on the ass every now and then, and tell him how good of a job he's doing, you know, without delivering any games. So, you know, and I'm okay with that. If that's how it is, I think we need to set those standards and say, look, this is how it is, and then I'll leave everybody alone. I won't have to, you know, be tagging people and just poke, you know, so hey, what happened to your sales numbers, man? I thought Game Pass was really rocking. What happened? What happened?
It ain't about that anymore.
It ain't about that anymore. It ain't about consoles anymore. It ain't about none of that. And that's unfortunate because they keep coming out with more goddamn controllers and more headphones and dolls and other stuff. But it's like I don't know, man. I think the console just died. It died a bloody one-sided mess, and I was hoping that it would, be able to last this generation.
I didn't see the self-immolation thing coming though, like them pouring gasoline all over themselves and saying, "I'll do it, fuck you." I didn't see that part coming though.
You know why? Buck?
No.
Because you underestimated a group of people who have been losing for 15 years straight, every day of their lives, fighting a good fight.
But Jaydub, they just dropped that new heat. They just dropped that Barbie console, didn't they?
No.
Yeah, they did, man. They did. I know them joints don't sell out. But you underestimated. You underestimated. Here's the thing, and I'm gonna tell you about me, and that's one thing about Jaydub, man. My daddy always told me, never be a loser, never follow a loser, and never aspire to be a loser. Only follow winners.
In that order.
Only attempt to be a winner. Only fuck with winners, right? And I model my life like that. That's what I do, and I teach my kids the exact same way. It worked out for me. Hopefully, it works well for them. Not to say that people are bad people. It's just to say there's different types of people in the world. Those are people that. No, but those are people. Those are some people, right? That, for example, I'm gonna give y'all a little story. This is a little story, right? Me and my little brother were 4 years apart. I call him little brother. We were just 4 years apart, but he's my little brother. We grew up in the same household, same mom, same dad, same access to everything in life, right? That our parents was able to provide for. Our lives came out totally different, and it took my wife to explain it to me one day on how my expectation for my brother is so through the roof that when he doesn't excel the way I want him to excel or know that he can, I get disappointed. And she told me I can't do that. She said his journey is his journey, and he's okay with how he does things and where his life is and stuff like that. But I wasn't okay with it. And it took me years to be able to accept that. And once I was able to accept that and realize he's good, he's in a place in life where his comfort zone is and his level, how he want to be, where he want to be, how his life wants to be. But it took me so long because I'm like, you have the potential to do this, make this amount of money and do this, but that's not where he wanted to be, or that's not where he's comfortable with.
And also, loser is different. It's in the eye of the beholder too.
Hey.
Yeah, what up, brother?
Yeah.
Hey man, I'll talk about something. Hey man, I'm looking at this thing, man. Did y'all read about that? This motherfucking Trump was going to use the military to take all the voting machines and hold all the voting machines. Did y'all read about that?
Yeah.
I mean, when it happened, yeah, all that shit was. Oh yeah, I ain't shocked by all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, big money.
He's a total authoritarian,
brother. The rabbit hole deep with that.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. Hey, that shit.
Yeah.
To take over the voting machine.
But listen, that's one of the reasons the motherfuckers fucked with Trump, because they liked his authoritarianism. That's what they wanted. I'm not shocked by it.
They were fucking with it. Kill Mike Pence. If he would,
hang Mike Pence.
They was gonna kill him. They went looking for him. So you don't think that he wasn't gonna use the military to bogart his way? Come on, man.
Hey man, this shit is crazy.
Even crazy ass Nancy Pelosi was like, "Okay, you're going too far." She had to step in. Like, her fucking, her fucking corrupt ass.
American soil in.
Yeah, we had to rely on Nancy Pelosi and Mike Pence to like keep democracy. It's fucking weird, but whatever.
Hey, but Big Money, you want to know the scary part about it? When he was in office, right? Me and my friend, we two different aisles of the political spectrum.
Yeah,
we'd always laugh and joke, but we all kind of knew. We both said to each other that, okay, at least we know that there's safeguards in place that's going to prevent Trump from doing some crazy shit.
Barely.
Like firing off nukes or doing some crazy shit, right? Man, once all this shit went down, we looked at each other sweating like this motherfucking country don't have none of the safeguards that we thought that they had in place.
It hasn't, but it's on.
We've
It's
really
on.
been living in our own bubble. We've been lying to ourselves, thinking
It's
that
very
shit
fragile,
is solid and rock tight, but it's not.
Nope.
And we should have learned that from the fact that motherfuckers was able to get on some airplanes with some goddamn paper spoons and paper and some plastic knives and hijack some planes. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
we were warned about that.
But that tells you that we are not where we need to be.
Yeah.
And because the country is so divided now, we can probably never be able to put those safeguards in place because somebody's going to cry foul. One of them is going to want to do some rogue shit. The other one don't want.
They're already trying to fill those holes in. That was a practice run, so we gotta. Yeah, it's very fragile, but
this was a practice run. But I'm gonna be honest, the shit almost worked. If Mike Pence would have went through with it, we would have been looking at a different America right now. Shit could have really been crazy.
One of my old teachers, right, and one of my old teachers was trying to. Like, it's a reason why a president only has 2 terms, because you don't want somebody getting used to holding on to power like that, because a person loves power, and sometimes they don't want to let that shit go. And that's a person you don't want to have power because let it go.
That's a dictatorship.
Friday and Sunday. For Saturday,
oh, there you go, Pastor.
Hey. Remember, on only days
well, that's a good way to change the subject from politics.
Mute your mic, Pastor. You ordering food.
Briarios, did you ever make an account? I'll look you up. Look up BuckDat on Discord. I'll add you in here if you want to jump in. Shit.
Hey, we got to mute Pastor Joe. He gonna be in here trying to sell sandals and shit live on air.
Hey, at least he's showing. I didn't think it's gonna show.
But I'm telling you, that was a scary sight, only because I thought about the what ifs. Like, we was just bullshitting and laughing at all the Trump shit, but that shit came awfully close from actually fucking going through.
Meeting to do that, bro. I can't remember. Now, I can see if somebody, joking around, I should use the military. But this motherfucker actually had a meeting thinking about the military. Wow.
Absolutely. I know.
Well, you know what? They were going to sweep it under the rug if he wouldn't have ran again. They basically warned him, listen, you got a lot of skeletons in your closet. You still got a bunch of court cases. You might want to just sit down somewhere and go in exile. If not, your ass going to go to jail. and he's that type of dude. You can't tell him shit. So now his ass, he gonna fuck up and end up in jail. But here's the thing. They can't, it's such a stain on America globally in the look.
Yeah.
They really want to downplay it low. They want to keep it in-house where nobody will know. Can you imagine if they on the Al Jazeera News or the BBC or whatever news channel, if they say, America's former President Trump has been sentenced to 60 years in prison for treason, for this and this and this and all of this shit. And then all the people that help him along the way, all of the senators and congressmen, all of these people with the polls, all the people that's embedded in Fox News and all of that stuff. It's a lot of motherfuckers going to go down with him. He's going to snitch on everybody, right? All of his people are already snitching on him. But from what I hear, he wrote himself a pardon. So Trump trying to pardon himself. So he already knew the type of shit he was doing. So this is a legal, this is an uncharted territory. We've never had this in the history of this country. So I don't think there's laws there's not really laws that are kind of like rock solid in place for shit like this to happen. There's laws that says if you have treason, then you get sentenced to life in jail or you get executed. Those are laws, rock solid. But a former president, none ever really fucking went to prison like that. even your boy,
I know he's
Nixon,
talking about
even Nixon, when Nixon got right, they kind of gave him a way to kind of go into exile.
Yeah.
Get your fucking ass somewhere and go sit down and never fucking speak again.
Trump
And
just
he
won't
did
listen.
that. Trump can't, and he knows so much. You can't let him go out to his ranch. Look, when
He won't
Bush,
shut up.
when GW Bush term was over, his motherfucking ass went to his ranch in Dallas, Texas, and he had signs outside his house, all on the freeway. Fuck you, Bush. Eat shit. Like, this dude couldn't come outside for like 2 years. Then Trump got in office. Then you see George W. Bush at the local HEB or Walmart, right? Because he knows, like, this dude done fucked up so bad, I can come back outside now. Now I'm not so bad. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at it in the history books, it's going to be it's going to be a lot kinder to George W. Bush than it is Trump.
Yeah.
Because now we're going back to this dude's he tried to cause a civil war.
Yeah.
It
gets more extreme, and then what I look at the Democrats is that's the time when we're like, you know, when everybody wants to just set the bar. That's the bar now from whatever we just fucking went through. You know, because businesses always want that. You know, after they get their fucking tax cuts, they want everything to just stop. You know, leave it that way for 4 years. That's the new norm. So now the new norm is fucking Trump is a fucking maniac. So now we look at fucking George W. Bush. It's like, oh yeah, he's great. You know, like it's weird. I used to fucking hate George W. Bush back in the day. Now I see him on TV. I'm like, hey, that's a nice old man. You know,
you see what I'm saying?
It's fucking weird.
You feel me? Back then, you couldn't bring up George. Listen, and I'm from Texas. I live here in Texas. This motherfucking name was it was lower than a goddamn doormat. Like this motherfucking Bush can't.
He was a rich boy. He got, you know, his dad was the fucking CIA. He had a baseball team. You know, he was kind of dumb. You know,
this slow motherfucker let all these fucking
puppet for the GOP.
Oligarchs take over and run all the, you know, Dick Cheney, Halliburton, all them use all the funds and just all the shit, you know, all the shit that went wrong. Everything that went wrong. But I think with the whole Trump thing, I don't think he's going to get a museum, you know, a library, a presidential library. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Oh, he'll make his own.
Well, he
his
made
family
himself, right? It'll be at Mar-a-Lago, maybe. But listen, it's really fucked up. But you know what? The good thing about it is America needed to have a mirror. Because sometimes we can sit back and not know how ugly we are. If you never looked in the mirror, you'll never know. Hey, you got some crust on the side of your eye, or you got a booger in your nose. You'll never know.
You're starting to see some of that too come out with the secrecy stuff, these special access programs that they're talking about too. You know, and we need that. Oh my God, we need that shit so bad. But it's just like that. These oil companies have a stranglehold on us, and this environment shit.
I'm gonna be honest, and this is something nobody wants to admit. The country is no longer ran by the government; it's ran by corporations.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
think about
military-industrial complex. That's what he meant. He meant corporations.
Microsoft is a $2-3 trillion company. Apple, $3 trillion company. Microsoft, embedded with the government, embedded with the military, was trying to sell a fucking HoloLens.
They don't pay taxes either, by the way. Barely.
Of course they don't. Of course they don't.
They hide it in Puerto Rico and all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah, they hide all that money. They do all this shit, right? Every company, all of these big global $1 billion, trillion companies, all of them take advantage. And not only that, they buy the senators, right? They donate to their PACs.
Absolutely.
They spend millions of dollars on these senators and tell these senators, you're going to vote for this, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And
there's some populist movement though nowadays. A little bit. Even in the Republicans, you know, they don't take that kind of money, but they still it still gets funneled through like these other PACs with corporations, so it kind of doesn't matter. But yeah.
It's too far gone, Buck.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
too far to turn away. There's going to have to be something that's going to be major, that's going to have to shake up. And here's the thing, because they kept America divided through the geopolitical lens of black and white and all of these different terms and social movement.
Yeah.
So they turn people that
more.
are regular people, give them an enemy to hate. And as long as they're on the other side of the spectrum, you can sit there and fight with them for years and years and years while they rob you blind. And then when the shit blows up, they'll point fingers at somebody else. And then, you remember back in the day, the enemy used to be Al Qaeda. Yeah. And then from Al Qaeda, it was ISIS. Mm-hmm. And then from ISIS, it was ISIL. And then from ISIL, it was, it was. Yeah,
the war on terror. Yeah, the war on terror has been the grift since the 2000s, since 9/11. That's definitely, after the Russians and with, that was the longest fucking the Cold War with the Russians was like the biggest grift after World War II and the robber barons of that era.
It was, but I'm gonna be honest, that shit was real. This shit.
Oh no, it was real, but the way they would get money out of our system was like they would just say fucking, oh yeah, there might be Russians, whatever. Like here. I mean, they were getting money for fucking everything. All you had to say was Russians,
But that shit lasted so long. Think about it. They had the whole Hollywood. J. Edgar Hoover was pointing fingers and said, "Oh, we think you're a communist, or you could be sympathetic to the communist movement," and they would shake down people. All the Hollywood elites like Harry Belafonte and the rest of those people. Just a lot of actors, everybody in Hollywood. Just
LG Gamer, what up?
What's good? Anybody
Sam
who was in Hollywood or anybody who kind of did their own thing, that's just what they were. And so they found a new way to do it. It's just a modern way to do what they were doing back then. But I think one thing we can talk about that is kind of like it kind of links to this stuff right now. There's something new, and that's the whole aliens or UFO, or the new term is UAP, right?
Well, and NHI, non-human intelligence.
Yeah. So they had to change the term from UFO. They couldn't admit that UFO was possibly a real thing, because for the last 60, 70 years, they had been denying it on record to Congress and everything else. Yeah. They didn't want a bunch of people going to prison, so they had to change the term. That's how
it's an instant whitewashing of all the history. History starts at 2017 now with UFOs.
Well,
UAP.
That's why the congressman, and I know you watched it, and I know Z watched it, but that's why the congressman, they were kind of holding their feet to the fire. Well, can you confirm if UFOs exist? And it was the way you asked the question, and they wouldn't answer it, or they would tell you, "Well, we don't know what you're talking about." So if you ask them anything about a UFO, they would still deny it. But if you ask them about a UAP, then they would say, "Well, there's a possibility there." Motherfucker, it's the same shit. You changed the name because you didn't we're not stupid. We got all you act like we weren't here in history to witness this. You're the government. You guys have been telling us this shit.
Plus all the videos they showed us, they've been showing us, like the Tic Tac and shit. Those are like Lockheed fucking craft.
Yep.
Like they're not even showing because it's rare that a UFO is actually nowadays would be an extraterrestrial. I mean, they're there. They're in our fucking skies. But if you see a UFO, 9 times out of 10, well, maybe 7 times out of 10, it's ours, back engineered. So,
here's a question I want to know though. Okay, if an alien spacecraft, if it crashed in our, for one, clearly they didn't came across the galaxy. Why the fuck would you crash into Earth? Why are you crashing when you've been going?
It was a gift.
Twice the speed of speed of light, or you going so fast and you can stop on a dime. Like with all of that technology, and you're gonna fucking crash. You motherfuckers don't know how to drive. Like, did you made a left
I could
turn?
I could tell you with Roswell specifically, the first one, the bodies were part of the technology. So they left. That was on purpose to like. I mean, Colonel Corso said that. He said the great, and he was mad that he didn't exploit it. Like looking back on his career, he exploited the stuff that he got in the
because he didn't know.
Yeah. But like
40, 50 years later, they will be able to whitewash this shit and hold nobody will be held accountable.
So
if he would have known that,
he exploited stuff for the competition and the competitive edge for the Army. Like he worked on it from the Army side, but it was a free for all. Everything's under the Navy. As far as military goes, right? So it's like everybody takes from here and there. So the bodies went to fucking a different place than the fucking craft. So he got to exploit things that came from the craft, but like the biological bodies were really the most advanced technology in the Roswell crash. They were made for space flight. Bodies.
My point.
They're not ETs like you would think they are from.
Yeah, but my point still stands. If you have the technology to make it all the way across this galaxy, right, the solar system, and then you're gonna crash into our atmosphere, like, what happened? Were they wounded and they drunk, or like what happened?
So some are gifts, some are technological exchanges, and some are shoot downs. That's the real answer. It's
okay. So
we've shot a lot down.
Listen. I'm not the smartest man in the world, but I can imagine if you have technology and a spacecraft to make it across the solar system, multiple solar systems, right? That for one, you're not going to crash, and for two, we've seen on video how these motherfuckers move. There's not a single bullet or missile that's touching that motherfucker.
Yeah,
those objects does not.
Jaydub, I love your reasoning. Your reasoning is spot on.
Okay, appreciate you, brother.
No, but you have to go in a timetable of it of the events, and you see that there was a definite pattern, which was first coming to like making contact with military guys. When they called it the Foo Fighters during World War II, and they would do aerial phenomena around them and like kind of provoking, and like they wanted you to kind of they weren't doing anything that was completely hostile, but they would go into certain airspaces that they knew they weren't. And these are advanced technologies with artificial intelligence on them. They're doing things on purpose to give technology, is what I'm saying. It's a technology exchange, but it's not like they don't just land and say, "Hey, you want to trade technology?" It started slow with doled it out little by little, and then a couple were archaeological digs that were we found craft. So, and then others were shoot downs. And
here's my theory. Tell me if I'm 10 far ahead or not, or maybe I'm onto something, right? Buck, check your DM. Arnie sent you a background. Backdrop. So
I tried to put it on, it wouldn't fucking go on.
So tell me if I'm 10 far ahead or not. But World War II, 1945 era, right? So Germany's taking out, United States is trying to wrap up shit on the Pacific front with Japan. We have nukes. We nuke Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah.
And we were going to, there was a third location that we were gonna do. It wasn't gonna be Tokyo. It was gonna be some other place.
Oh, but Tokyo.
Yeah, I think that I just watched a documentary last night. That was on the list, but they chose against that one. Only because of historical purpose with the museums and other stuff that they try not to damage the stuff that has the historical,
Yeah.
But anyway,
shout out to Arnie.
I honestly don't think the reason we got those nukes and we tested them out or we dropped them on a population was for war purpose. Because even the history will tell you, Japan was going to surrender anyway. They just wanted to keep the guy at the time. I don't know if his name is Hirohito or whoever the guy was at the time. The general at the time, the call him president. I don't know if they call him prime minister at the time, whatever. Anyway, they just want to keep him in power, right? He was signing.
But they also, Jaydub, they also wanted to see the effects of the atom bomb.
No, exactly. That's what I'm going to get to, right? So Japan was already going to give up. They was just trying to negotiate the terms on their giving up. So there was really no reason for us to nuke. Now, we know the history book tells us that the reason we gave why we nuked them is a lie, right? To save lives, to end of the war. The fucking war was pretty much over, right? Matter of fact, we allowed them to make it across the Pacific Fleet to bomb us in Pearl Harbor. We allowed that. We wanted that to happen.
Are you getting to the attracting non-human intelligence?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm getting to.
Because the latest book
I don't think the nukes was specifically for Japan. I think Japan just became, well, shit, this is a great cover. It just, like, the stars just kind of aligned. Matter of fact, I think the only reason the nuke even existed is because we were dealing with extraterrestrial. I think Germany they were far advanced ahead with, because have you seen the planes and some of the shit that Germany was already working on? That shit had alien technology already. It was already far advanced.
Yeah, they had a couple things. They weren't as advanced, but they had some things.
Yeah, but well advanced more than ours. Matter of fact, Robert Oppenheimer already said that they were already like 2 years in advance on the work of on the nukes, on the atom bomb.
Yeah. Oh, they were
on the Head Start. So they went ahead and got all the passes for the defected scientists like Albert Einstein, even Oppenheimer himself, right? They tried to get as many people out of Germany as possible. Pretty much all the Germans, right? All the smart German scientists. They try to get those motherfuckers out over here under our control so they can help us versus helping Hitler. So I think because the technology came and the technology came from the nuke was definitely from alien. It's different from aliens. That's just
there's a document.
Yeah.
And I forget which. I don't know if it's the same document that references when Albert Einstein and the other guy and Oppenheimer and stuff were referring to, because they called them celestial, the celestial cultures. That's what they call the extraterrestrials. Yeah, it's a different fucking word than what we've said in the last 7 years to make it not. You know what I mean? When you say cultures, it fucking completely changes it than alien, right? Alien sounds fucking. That's a way to hide it and be scared of it. Blah blah blah. But yeah, there was a document that referenced that we didn't get much out of this device from I think it was 41 in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. That was one of our first crash retrievals. That was a retrieval, not brought from like Italy and all that shit. And they said in this document that we didn't get much out of it, except it led to, they didn't say nuclear, but it was basically, it led to Oppenheimer's,
And the reason I brought that up, because look at the timing, right?
Absolutely.
World War II. Look at World War II, right?
It's undeniable.
Ended like what, 1945. It was like from 1940 to 1945. I'm gonna give you that 5-year span. Some people say within a 3-year span, 4 years, whatever, right? It's 5-year span.
Yeah.
Within those 5 years, you motherfuckers come up with a nuclear weapon out of nowhere. I hate to say it, but even us going to the moon within a 5-year span out of nowhere,
yeah,
that's still fishy. If Biden say, hey, listen, it's 2023. By 2028, I want us to have a colony built on fucking Mars. We would look at him like he's stupid. How are you going to do that in fucking 5 years? Like, come on. But guess what? These motherfuckers were able to do these amazing things.
And had a secret space program going on in the background too. At the same time.
Exactly. At the same time. Listen.
They were really going fucking, and building on the moon and shit.
But listen, I want you to go watch that movie, Oppenheimer. For you guys.
Oh yeah, I've seen the trailer, but I do want to see it.
21st or the 12th, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm a big history buff.
Yeah.
And so I knew about this guy forever, right? I've been knowing about him for a long, long time.
Check out the Trinity
Project,
UFO book.
Else. Yep.
There's a book called The Trinity UFO Crash. It's with Jacques Vallée and Leslie. No, not Leslie. I forget the lady's name. She's another UFO researcher, but Jacques Vallée is, of course. But there was an incident at the Trinity site, where there was a crash in beings, and that was pre-Roswell. It was literally as soon as we fucking dropped it, and started testing them. Yep. They were there. And EG&G was the company that would take pictures of nukes and shit, just to look at shit, and they were the first ones to see the craft. And EG&G was the guys that hired like Bob Lazar years later and shit. So that
to go,
you're onto that connection is undeniable, but it goes even deeper than people would think. Not just fucking UFOs flying over nuke sites and shit like that. It goes way
even
deeper
back in the Cold War, right?
Yeah.
Right here, dealing with the United States and fucking Cuba. When you have fucking Russian subs following their tankers with fucking nukes on them, the United States set up a blockade saying, no, you can't cross this border. You can't cross this path. We're not going to let you install your nukes and your silos and shit like that on the Cuban island. That's too fucking close to us. Basically what we're trying to do in Ukraine, right? We're trying to set up shop right there on Russia's doorstep. They're not going to let that happen. But Russia wanted to do it to the United States. So it's just funny how 50 years the shit kind of.
Well, here's the other thing that it really disrupts. Supposedly, this is what, and a lot of different researchers have heard this from aerospace people and people that know the history and then through some documents and shit. But it's that basically when you set off a nuke, it goes through interdimensionally, which is how a lot of the extraterrestrials, as well as interdimensional beings, like that's how they travel around. You kind of go through these wormholes, and it basically disrupts not only that, the traveling, but the communication through there. So it's not like it's like hurting other civilizations, although that we might find that out one day too. But I mean, that kind of gets overblown. Like it's not like, oh, we set off a nuke and we're hurting other. No, but it is disrupting their communications and their travel, and they're like, what the fuck? So they start showing up, like, and telling us,
we've
you
seen
guys are morons.
Where they've jammed our radars, they've jammed our nukes and our missiles and shit.
Absolutely.
From trying to fire. They've actually admitted that.
Yeah.
They said, well, we don't know what happened, but we.
I think we're under. I think what it is we're under quarantine. Once they detect people or civilizations that start developing nukes, they keep an eye on them, and it's not okay. If you blow yourself up, that's one thing. But if you start, but also we have technology where we can go out beyond the Van Allen belt. And if we start taking nukes out there, that's a no-no apparently to fucking extraterrestrials.
Well, we already do. That's what our probes are made of, right? It's nuclear power. It's nothing but a fucking nuclear bomb. So at the end of its journey, after it's still poking at the edge of this galaxy here onto the next galaxy or whatever is beyond, that shit has to stop somewhere. It has to hit some asteroid somewhere.
Also, I think the portion to it is there's also other civilizations that use our planet. There's fucking probably civilizations that live deep in the fucking earth that could have been way before us. We think it's our fucking earth, we assume it's just our earth, but it could not. It could be, Atlantis could be in the fucking Antarctica. Like there could be a civilization there. We don't fucking know.
Well, I've kind of always said this, right? And if if we know more about space than we do our own planet, especially our oceans, that says a lot.
Yeah.
That really says a lot, right? In is it the technology that's lacking for us to do that, or is the fact that we're too scared to fucking go there because we already know what's there because we've kind of dealt with it before? You don't have Mark Twain and some of these old writers and shit way back in the fucking day writing stories about shit, 2,000 leagues under the sea just out of the fucking blue.
Yeah.
Right? Some of this shit is, you say what you want, but it's definitely inspired by not just some guy that has a crazy imagination when he was a kid.
The Abyss.
No,
the Abyss blew my mind when I saw that because I'm like, that's fucking real. I knew that there was something real to that, and then years later, I saw fucking Russian documents describing things even more fucking crazy than what's in that fucking movie.
I've always said that movies are just reality in a way where they'll uncover it on the big screen.
Yeah.
So to desensitize you. So by the time it actually comes in, look, when did the first UFO crash in Mexico? Right? Was it in the 40s or 50s?
Yeah, it was 40s. Well, the Roswell was 47, but we've had a couple in that area.
Okay,
yeah, early 40s
all the way
to late
2023, before the government finally admitted the shit was real. Right? Almost 100 fucking years for us to get to a point where the government is like,
well,
it's been long enough.
We still haven't had the official disclosure, which is supposedly coming next year.
Was good, brother. It's good, Arnie. No, but listen, it doesn't. They don't have to go into the details of it.
No.
Just the fact that you acknowledge it, knowing that for the last 75 years, you know how many people lost their jobs. You know how many people
killed,
been in prison, killed,
pensions.
For shit that they saw, and you didn't want to get out, or you didn't want to acknowledge it some kind of way. Like,
it's crimes against humanity. The whole thing is crimes against humanity. I mean,
it is.
There's no other way to describe it.
What's good, brother?
Is it cool? So check this out. I didn't know if you knew this, but because I remember, because I was watching TV back in the day when this happened. I was like 04, and I remember the Mexican Air Force. because the thing is, man, I've heard so many stories of Mexico having their own Area 51. You know what I'm saying? It's not just an American thing.
Well, Mexico City is probably the hottest spot for UFOs in the world. Mexico City. They're like, especially if you live to Popocatépetl.
Yeah,
that's insane. Just put a camera there, you're gonna see fucking craft go in there. You're gonna see lights go in there. It's crazy, but yeah.
Well, I bring up the Mexican Air Force because this happened in South Campeche, if I'm not mistaken, which is like, I don't know, probably about like an hour or two away from Zacatecas. And the Mexican Air Force themselves, they did like a whole press release, and no one took them seriously because they were like, yeah, we saw lights like way higher than is normal for the atmosphere. So in other words, no normal crap should be up there.
Culturally, they're way more open about it there. And their media too. Their media loves it. Their media loves to talk about it and go at the Air Force, but
Well, no, but here's the thing. You got to realize it's all propaganda, right? The media has never been about telling the truth. It's about whatever the government will allow them to say or push them.
Yeah, there's certain places you can't go. There's an embargo on the truth for sure.
Yeah.
You could talk about UFOs all day long, and then you could talk about extraterrestrials separately, but like very rarely, especially before 2017, would you have a story where they're like talk about a UFO, and where it's weird. It was like you couldn't say extraterrestrials are in these things. It's more like this mystery. You couldn't. There was an embargo on it.
The accountability that the government had, right?
Yeah.
So if you tell the media, okay, yeah, you can talk about whatever you want, and they start talking about the real shit, then somebody's going to say, hey, listen, my grandmother, she worked right there, and she told me this back in the day, and you guys fired her, or she had a heart attack or something, or my granddad used to work here, and you did this to him, and you know, that's accountability. That means the government is going to have to pay them. That means the government can be sued. Yeah. So the government is going to cover its own ass. So they really don't care. They just don't want to pay any money. It's just like the whole COVID vaccine thing, right?
Yeah.
The first thing they did was remove any responsibility for the corporations and the government. So you can't sue them.
Well, also,
that's the first thing.
America big dogs everybody on this subject. So no matter where shit goes down and what fucking government says what, or what fucking military says what, the Americans have the fucking handle on everything.
The first say so. Yeah.
If there's a crash in fucking Brazil, the Brazilian fucking government, the Brazilian fucking Air Force is going to basically open up their shit, and fucking Americans fucking in all black and coming in jets and military motherfuckers, they come in and they fucking do everything basically. And they just
the local government. The local government's job is just safeguard it into America.
Yeah, basically, the Mexican government would hold it if it was a crash, right? Until the Americans get there, and they give it to the Americans. It's like this deal that America has with everybody in the fucking world that they fucking own it all. It's fucking weird.
It is weird
because it's the corporations.
At the same time, it trips me out, since we're on the subject of Mexico here, is that it still baffles me that, you know, I know they're still trying to figure out how the pyramids in Egypt were built. But what about the pyramids in Mexico that also line up with the constellations? They line up perfectly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's
other pyramids.
Yeah.
And Mexico is on a completely different side of the world, man. So
no, absolutely.
It's weird. It's weird.
Well,
it's one of those things that, how do they have that technology? And I'm not trying to bring in the whole extraterrestrial aspect of it, right? You know, just the sheer amount of knowledge of this technology that has been lost purposely.
Yeah, it's right. But everything, all of that shit is right under the surface. That's
you know the reason it was lost, though, and this is like, and again, don't call me tinfoil hat, but when I was a kid, I used to watch Stargate SG-1.
Great show.
I used to watch the Stargate movie.
The movie was good too.
All those different movies, and I'm a big proponent of movies are just a desensitization tool. It's the truth, but if you watch it on the big screen, your brain is going to trick you into thinking, "Oh, this is something made up. Somebody wrote this."
Especially science fiction.
Yes, if all we've been seeing is Independence Day and all these alien movies, right, for the last 30, 40 years of our life, right, depending on how old you are, clearly you're desensitized, so you can fucking walk on the street and see an alien and just think it's a fucking kid in a costume. That's just what it is, because we're desensitized to it. But if you've never seen some shit, like I remember when people first started showing Chupacabra and shit on the screen, people were like freaked out. They were going crazy. Oh my God, close the door, Chupacabra. Because they had never seen anything like that before. There's not a movie out there with that shit. But now, right, since we've kind of seen some pictures out in the wild, then all these movies come out, that's a desensitization. You know, that's desensitization. All it is, it's just a tool. The government created this. Actually, Hitler created this back in Germany. It's like mind control without controlling people. You can easily control the mind. All you got to do is control what they watch. For example, I was born in 1981. So when I was a kid, I remember the news came on at like 9:30, 10 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, all you got was a tone and color bars on every single channel. There was no more TV programming. You didn't get TV programming anymore on TV on any channel until 6 o'clock the next morning.
Yeah.
That's when the news came on. And it was kind of like, that's just what that was. But now they have it where there's 24 hours a day. There was always something feeding you information, selling you something, feeding you some bullshit. So one night if you're staying up late and you're just chilling, they don't want you to see color bars because that gives you time to turn the TV off and think to yourself. They want you to be consistently occupied.
Yeah.
So people stop really watching TV, right? So then what happened? They moved to cell phones. So then people would get online with social media on their cell phone. So even if you're laying in the bed, you don't want to turn the TV on to wake up.
That time is money to them.
Exactly.
Time.
Hey, yo,
So-
Jaydub.
What's up, brother?
My bad, I don't know cut you off, but that falls in line with the prohibition
marathon
theory,
games, the old marathon games.
where they said they brought an end to prohibition so that they could get Americans.
Oh, you must not hear Arnold.
to them off.
I can believe that. I can believe that.
Get them messed up and thin it out because places like Manhattan were expanding way too fast.
Well,
And so
if you think about it, Japan and other places, even in China, they have limitations and different programs and things for people that play games, casinos, just any kind of addiction that people have. Like they want to put a control on it so people only have a limited amount of access to stuff. Because too much information or information overload, of course, is going to make you stupid. Because you're not going to have enough time to focus on the stuff that matters. So we only have 24 hours a day, right? If we're spammed 24 hours a day with a bunch of bullshit, by the time the good shit is there, right? Or if you're a kid,
It's going to form your ideology.
if all you do is do bullshit on TikTok all day, what kind of room you gonna have in your brain for the shit for school, right? Nothing. You're a TikTok baby, so all you do is fucking think in 10-second increments.
Hey, Jacob, have you ever played one of the old marathon games?
The old marathon game? I can't remember. I can't recall.
There was an old marathon? Yeah, Briarios is saying we need to talk about Xbox. Xbox is dead. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the console war over, bro.
Oh,
So it's-
Wolverine next year? You think Wolverine's coming out next year, Briarios?
yeah, it'll come out next year.
Damn, I forgot where we were going. I had a
will
point
come
about
out
something.
next year. I think so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We had to get to that at least. This whole. Well, maybe I'll do that when I step away. I had to go to the bathroom. But I don't know how you're holding. Are you holding in there, Jaydub? You still ranting?
No, I'm good. I'm just trying to fill some time, but just trying to give you guys some thoughts.
Go
on
with that, but
everything.
then we got to talk about this this influencer thing because I was just playing. But yeah, in a minute.
I mean, let's get to that because it's probably some guys that don't want to hear expand your mind shit. They want to hear some console war.
The console war.
The console.
That's it.
Yeah, that's my brother Post. You say the console war. Post ain't no goddamn console.
Oh wait, Hip Hop Gamer said Insomniac's working on Resistance remake. Is he an insider?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Hey y'all, make sure y'all hit the like button.
Yeah. You know what? I get people will watch this afterwards. They usually watch after it's live, but you know, that's okay.
Well,
but yeah, I played.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, what up?
What up, brother?
I played the thing in the back. I don't know if people were looking, but I played the King Thrash say Microsoft. Is Microsoft paying influencers for fake Xbox hype? Now he claims he has some. He's been peeping this for a while. You know, he did his whole
they got
expose.
Before, remember?
Yeah, but then then there was this other guy, right?
Yeah, Microsoft been caught before. This was like last generation. They got sued. They got caught.
The ambassador program.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, I always suspected this of a lot of these fans because they do say a lot of the same shit. Like, you could tell there's a lot of bots.
Look at all their tweets.
I could tell there's a lot of bots that are bots basically. But the influencer thing is kind of an interesting new kind of thing. I mean, we always figure some influencers.
I think they're just like the ambassador program that they cut. Like this is the continuation of it. Instead of it being out front, it's like behind the scenes. You know what I mean?
Well, think about it. just look at the people they fly out, right? They flew out Coast Eastwood and the rest of those dudes. They fly these guys out all the time. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with that. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I think it's dumb as fuck because your last place, having Cole Eastwood to say he loves Xbox every day hasn't helped you for the last 15 years. So it's not winning, right? Now here's the thing. If for example, if Microsoft was like selling, if it was number one, they was just winning everything, then I could say, yeah. But who the fuck pays all that money and spends all that time with a bunch of dudes just to remain in last place? Like, is that just to keep people from leaving, or like what? Like, how is that?
Dude. The thing is, they're not going to speak negatively because then they don't get the freebies, the codes, the flying out to Seattle. So you're not going to hear them complain that it took 3 years to get more storage options for their consoles. You're not going to hear them complain about not wanting to play Redfall, but still giving it a shot pretending they like it. You know, stuff like that. You know, it.
Well, that's true. That's true. But
they can't speak out against.
I think the influencer thing is a bit of a stretch. Yes, like, but dudes do it for free all the time, every day, right? So I don't think that's a big deal. I think more so is the people like IGN, the big publications. Publication is different.
But Jaydub, those guys right there, like, think about it. That Xbox Ambassador program, we seen the shit because King Thrash posted it on his fucking, when he did that shit about that. They have clauses in there. They couldn't say anything bad about Xbox. All these ones who get flown out, did you ever notice? They never say anything bad about Xbox. Why is that?
You're right. Cole Eastwood got exposed for that with that fucking
Mr. Matty Plays, all of them that got flown out for that Redfall shit. Everybody who got flown out, think about it. No, only one of them said that, brought up the bugs. That was it.
But yeah,
but it goes back to what Jaydub's saying here, is that since they do that so much, it leaves no room for improvement because they don't call out the weaknesses, only the, I guess, pseudo strengths. If that means anything.
No, exactly. Now here's the thing. Let's say, you fly Matty out, you fly Cold out, and the rest of those guys, Ryan McCaffrey and all those dudes. You fly them out. You wine and dine them, hotels, stay, all that. You let them play all your games, give them free Game Pass, all that shit.
And don't none of them have.
You let them play your game, and then when they come back, they write their previews. You don't talk about the fact that they were running on PCs, that they didn't let you play the console version, and you didn't. And then 2 days later, when the review scores come out, everybody's talking how the game runs like shit, looks like shit. The console runs like shit. Even on the PC runs like shit, looks like shit. Like, what was the purpose of you going out there? You guys got to play it firsthand, and you didn't.
It's their marketing. That is their marketing this gen. Think about it. It's saving them a bunch from hiring them big companies. It's way easier and it's cheaper. You know what I mean? You're not dealing with all that bullshit. They're getting the word out, and you know how you know it's not working? Because within a month, you look at the player numbers and they fucking plummet. All their games within a month, they're dead. You know what I mean? They're gone. They look Redfall.
But you gotta.
Don't none of them have the balls to be like, even to say like, this don't seem that good. Don't none of them have the balls to say that.
No. And they can't.
Go ahead.
No, because of that program, they're not allowed to. They can't, because you get booted out of the program if you do. You're not allowed to speak bad on the brand.
Yeah.
No, you think Phil Spencer cares about Angry Joe? No, not at all.
Coming out
he voices his opinions and concerns.
Hold on for a minute, Arnie. I'm not talking about coming out to the public. I'm talking about pull Phil, whoever is close to the program, be like, hey man, this is not good. This is not a good game. Y'all need to go back.
They can't do that.
They know that.
Big money.
They know that already. Big money. They don't give a fuck. They just care about getting AA games out the door, and they want to pass off mobile games to us. That's what they want to do.
Yeah, big money. He's right. You can't. They're not paying you. They're not giving you incentive and access to them for you to tell them if their game is good or not. They have play testers for that, right? That's what they have play testers for. But they don't care. Like Microsoft, they knew Redfall was a dud. Even the developers of the fucking game knew it was a dud. They didn't want them to ship it. Microsoft said ship that shit anyway, right?
That's the part. Hate is that you can't be like, what the fuck are we doing to each other? Okay, I understand what we trying to do. I understand. And fuck it, get the game out the door. At least acknowledge to ourselves. Don't lie to ourselves that this game is good. Don't sit up here, because remember when Phil said all the end testers said the game was good. Every one of those guys said that game was good. Come on,
those were their in-house testers too. Those weren't outside testers. There's a big difference. Those are people that work for Microsoft that were testing that.
But that's the if you were the in-house tester, you would at least be like, okay, Sony, you can still put the out, but bruh, this ain't.
You know why? Big money? Because they fired all their QA testers. That's why. They fired all them people. So they have people in Microsoft. They just grab people and say, "Here, come play this and tell us what you think."
Yeah.
See, that's
They're a $1 trillion company and too cheap to pay for quality. You know, the little things that make your game good at launch. You know what I mean?
Well, check this out, Big Money. Now to play the other side of the coin here. They shipped out Redfall the way it was, right? They did the same thing to their tentpole franchise, man. They did that to Halo Infinite.
Yep.
Halo Infinite launched with no split screen, it launched with no maps, missing modes, features, and stuff like that. So they did the same thing to their own AAA franchise, man. So that's what I'm getting at. So they did it not once but twice, or I mean 3 or 4 times at this point. But that's what I'm getting at, is that they know what they're doing and they did it anyway.
Because they're looking at COD, that's why. And you know what I mean? That deal, they want that. They don't give a fuck about anything else.
Well, I mean, okay. So is it possible that they threw Halo to the birds for their new shooter, Call of Duty?
I think they did that with Redfall, because then it took the heat off Starfield. Think about it. That whole 30 FPS shit. Now all that heat's off Starfield now.
That's fucked up.
Hey, the devs said that they thought they were going to cancel it. So what the fuck does that tell you when the devs who made the game think that they're going to get canceled or rebooted into another game?
Yeah. But these are the same. These are the same motherfuckers that people are parading around and cheering for. I don't, like I said in the beginning of the show, there's gamers and then there's fans of the executives, right? 2 totally different groups of people. 2, a lot of Xbox guys, they care about the games. They just want the bangers. And
they're just social media dudes.
Yes, but it's a lot of people are social media dudes now.
There's a lot of fake gamers and fake social media people jumping on the bandwagon of gaming because it's popular. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's true.
That's why I don't tag them, because it's corny, man. Like straight up.
Yeah, it's a waste. But I really feel sad for the Xbox gamer that just loves the Xbox console.
Like fucking Tim Dog. But even Tim Dog's been going off the rails lately. You're like, what the hell are you doing, Tim Dog? Like, you've never done this shit. Like, come on.
Nah, and listen, I hate to say it, but it's
the sycophants.
It's too far gone, man. It's that's why I said when Phil came out and said that the console war is over, they're never gonna be able to fucking beat Sony. That was the end of the console war as we know it. Yeah. So now there's no more fight or argument that we need to argue about when it comes to anything. That shit is over. The next battle for Microsoft, right, or the new war is going to be
mobile and cloud.
mobile games and cloud. And guess what? None of us fucking play mobile, and none of us fucking play cloud. So what are we gonna argue about? That's
wallet.
a whole nother argument for a whole
money.
nother set of group of people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, is my wife going to console war over fucking playing Candy Crush?
Hell no.
Like, so what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, Microsoft.
No, they'll just move on to the next game. And that's the whole thing about that mobile gaming. And nobody gives a fuck. They just move on to the next game that they'll play for 15 minutes or whatever, you know?
Well, look, if you have an iPhone and you have if you subscribe to like the Apple Arcade, there's a lot of fucking great games in there, right? That you
Google Play's on PC now, man. They have Google Play on PC now.
Yeah, well, and the Apple App Store is going to be on there too. It's just a matter of time, right? So, with access to all of those games from your cell phone and your tablet and shit, Microsoft is looking at the amount of money that's made through that, right? And they want the money. They don't give a fuck about the games.
It's my
they
money.
Just want the money. And I get it.
And think about it, they're cheaper and easier to make, less overhead to make them.
Yeah, I think Candy Crush, originally they said it took like fucking 50 Angry Birds fucking took Zynga or whatever $50,000 to make. Some dude made it $50,000, and that has fucking pulled in billions, and if not hundreds of billions of dollars. And they want to lump us into that crowd. That's why I hate this fucking bullshit Microsoft's trying to pull. Don't lump me into the crowd of the Angry Birds and
Don't box
all of
me
that
in,
shit.
bro.
Yeah, because we're not the same. I spend hundreds of dollars on a console. I spend thousands of dollars on games. These guys spend 99 cents. And even now, they don't even spend that. They spend fucking Game Pass fee, $6.99 a month.
And most of the mobile shit, the popular shit's all free to play.
Yep, because they make all the money on the in-game currency.
Yep, and think about it. Think about that overhead. How much it costs to make a AAA game compared to making a mobile game that you can have 5 people working on it. Your overhead is nothing compared. You know what I mean?
Yep, and these motherfuckers make them in the confinement of their house or some fucking warehouse in India somewhere, right? Like anybody can make it. It doesn't take a bunch of people to make some fucking cell phone games. That's just literally what it is.
And Microsoft is trying to lump everybody in together, and it just doesn't work. That's why the mobile is a separate thing to itself, because it's not the same.
Yep, and this is why, I'll be honest, it's really gonna fuck us gamers. The console game, it's gonna fuck us at the end of it.
Oh,
because
what do you mean?
If these companies, if they see Microsoft be successful with this, they're gonna do the exact same thing. These motherfuckers were able to spin off the console division and move over to the fucking cell phone division with mobile apps. Like, fucking, we can do that too. Now our overhead is fucking pennies compared to us spending $200 million just to make The Last of Us, or $200 million to make God of War. Sure, they made $300 million to the good, right? $300 million in profits each. But fuck, we can do this mobile phone thing and just fucking rack up. And that's just so fuck. That's why I said, because Microsoft
because we've been around long enough, Jaydub, we can see the end of the console. That's our problem. We can see the end of it.
Yep.
And that's why a lot of us are pissed, because these guys didn't stand up last gen when we tried to tell them to do so.
Yep. Because we've seen Nintendo fail, and they got right back up in the same generation, relaunch new hardware, relaunch the games, and be successful. We've seen it with the PlayStation 3. They failed with that shit. They were able to pick themselves up, dust that shit off, and still deliver great games and still come back to sell a lot of fucking consoles, right? Like, You don't have to just say, okay, yeah, we failed. Yeah, that's it. You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna go to cell phone route. Like, what kind of?
We still doing show. We done.
Where's he?
No, we live.
You want to talk? You want to talk?
Are we live?
We're live. Big money. Come on, man.
Bro, I didn't know we was live that whole time.
Oh man. Yeah. This is the makeshift broadband bullies right here.
Hey, Jaydub, remember
spur of the moment.
How long is Satya Nadella going to take these quarters, each month that they're down? He's not going to keep taking that. Sooner or later, he's going to say, "Kill it, just end it."
No, I remember.
He did the same thing with Mixer. They spent millions on buying new talent and shit, and just ended it.
Yep. Because you got to realize.
Don't even do that.
They got money
like that. They will continue to take laws unless they can get. They want mobile. If they can't get mobile, they kill it. Like literally, as long as they feel like they can get that mobile spot, they will continue to take the L. But if they can't, they'll shut it all down.
Mark my word.
Let's be honest.
You right. Yeah. You right, Manhattan. But mark my word. Just like what you're saying. If this goddamn Blizzard Activision deal don't go through, this is the last generation for Xbox.
Oh shit.
They say when they say the deal because they got to get him 3.
I think July the 7th. I think July the 17th is the deadline.
It's 17th or 18th, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we capping over here, Mac? What are we capping about? I'm just letting people talk.
That boy Mac been
I'm being neutral
overtime all day, man.
I'm being neutral. Could you be neutral, Mac?
Mac is in like 76 different discords, bro.
Hey, Mac trying to take post of old spot, man. What are we doing here?
Mac everywhere. I see Mac everywhere. I'm like, God damn, Mac. I see this nigga Mac. He taking that whole other line serious. He in like 50 other discords fighting. He got like 40 other Twitter account, burner accounts. I'm like, bro, if you don't sit your ass, man, Mac. My brother Mac out there, man.
We had Pastor over here. He didn't want to explain his case. He didn't want to tell us what was so great about everything that happened this week.
Pastor Joe went to eat his rotten fish, man.
He had an opportunity to tell us what,
to make me some turkey.
Because he doesn't know. That's why. You would actually have to read and understand what the fuck's going on. And none of us are lawyers, so nobody knows shit.
Hey, no, but y'all know what's going to be funny, though? I ain't going to lie. It's going to be like, whether the deal passed or it doesn't, but if it doesn't go through, man, Twitter is gonna be this. Listen, every podcast and every Twitter nigga, it's gonna be lit like listen. The only reason, I hope it go through because I want to extend the Xbox community console. I want to extend it, right? Now, fuck the community. I'm talking about just gaming. Bro, I spend a lot of money on these goddamn Xbox consoles. I want them to offer something for this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if they don't keep fucking making if they don't make it a good software anymore, it's like I can't keep supporting. I'm not getting another fucking Xbox until they start making good software.
I don't know what to listen. They already.
I love the Series X.
You got a Samsung TV. All you need is your Xbox controller. You got a Fire Stick. You already got your Xbox. You know what I'm saying? But like I'm saying, like either way, bro. If the deal go through or it don't, it's gonna be so much fucking fun. I'm talking about the memes, the podcast, but it'll be extra.
But okay,
because here's the thing. No. Let me tell you. Before you go, I'm gonna tell you. You already know what my spin gonna be. PlayStation Nation, we just gonna ride for our bangers. We gonna say, all right, kudos for y'all, bitch. We got Spider-Man finna drop. We just got we got games. You see what I'm saying? That's why with PlayStation, we just glow about our goatees. That's all that matters at the end of the day. It don't matter about executives and none of the other shit don't matter. You can always run back to your games for cover. But when you don't have games, there's no cover. And that's why Xbox dudes been getting their ass kicked for the last 15 years. But if this deal go through, you're gonna have Post. My brother Post Up. He's gonna be anointed a prophet, right? Mm-hmm. He's gonna be the flat earth prophet of Xbox. He probably gonna get him a little gig in Redmond, Washington. Cole Eastwood gonna be
temporarily
the leader. Yeah, I mean,
because that goes into what my point is, and here's my concern.
My brother Mac, he gonna be the general of Xbox Nation. I mean,
what's going to keep Xbox Live more likely, in my opinion, is if they don't get the deal, because then they have something to fucking work towards. But them getting the deal is almost like, in my mind, cementing the fact that they're just fucking going to become a fucking publisher.
I don't think it matters either way, Buck. Either way, they still want to go mobile and be a publisher.
You have a point there, but I'm just saying which would be more likely that they're going to die or die sooner is, to me, in my opinion, is if they got the deal.
Just one path is probably faster than the other. It's just we don't know which one's which. You know what I mean? We don't know which is which.
So more likely it would stay alive if they didn't get the fucking deal.
I just want to laugh so hard, because if they don't get it, I'm gonna be laughing so. Lord have mercy.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's gonna be
because I know Post gonna run for cover. Post
gonna be quiet for one day, and he gonna come back out here the next day. Well, I told y'all it's that Nina Khan. I'm blaming Nina Khan.
Well, then it'll just be blaming the FTC and that whole thing, which they've already made it an unfair fight in the first.
If this deal don't go through, he will become a full blown fucking Republican. He will blame Democrats for everything. He already doing it.
He already turned. My brother Post already turning into Clarence Thomas.
Yeah, he going now.
Rand Paul. The Rand Paul up in this
My brother said, "The hell with affirmative action."
Post is gonna go out there. He's gonna you know what, Jay? You know what he's gonna do? We gotta vote for Trump. Make sure so Microsoft can come back and fight. Trump was not. I'm telling you, bro. A lot of these spots just turned into a full blown Republican. I've never seen this shit.
Hey, what's the top CEO at Microsoft? He definitely gives money to a lot of those.
Satya.
Well, him too, but they're all into those groups that are about cutting taxes for the rich, blah blah blah. They give a lot of money.
When you're that big of a company and you're at that level, you kind of have to. You're almost a little small country, right? You have more wealth than some of these little small countries, so you got to find loopholes and politicians to buy and PACs to donate to. And I mean, it's the game. It's the American way. That's just what America has kind of been doing for a long time. They just kind of buy whatever they want.
And that's why I always thought the deal would go through, is because politically, and then just look at this judge that's overseeing it. She's completely GOP. That's exactly why I thought this shit would go through in the first place.
Her son works for
and that too. But I'm more concerned the fact that she's she's just pro fucking business, and probably reads the goddamn Wall Street Journal and shit. So fuck her son being in a division of Microsoft, that's kind of a concern, but not really, not as much as your ideology and your economic ideology.
If they delay the decision, it's a wrap. Like the 17th. The 17th is not the court's deadline. I think that's the deadline where Microsoft is going to have to pay $3 billion.
Yeah,
and then they have to redo the whole deal over.
That's when Microsoft.
They got to start the deal all the way over.
That's where Activision's going to back the fuck out. Watch if that happens, Activision will too.
That means they got. That means they got $3 billion for free for doing fucking literally nothing. They're still gonna make the same money. COD is still gonna be. I mean,
Kotick's still going to Hollywood.
Yep, Kotick's still.
Hey, I thought that was crazy that shit came out that at the beginning of this gen, Activision went to Xbox and said we want an 80-20 split instead of a 70-30. Like that, right there tells you something. So you are going to see less games on Xbox.
You see
third party.
The big developers, they get to bully Microsoft because they don't have the install base. So they're going to say, hey, listen, your split is not going to be 70-30 anymore. It's not going to be the traditional split. You're going to have to cough up even more. So unless Microsoft is just going to fucking money hack this shit and just give everybody free games forever. I don't know, man. And here's the thing. Phil already came out, already confirmed they're not making a mid-gen refresh. He said the Xbox Series X is your mid-gen refresh. Sony already got schematics and developers already got the SKUs for the PS5 Pro, apparently. Microsoft came out with the fucking documents in the court case, right? So if PlayStation is coming up with a PS5 Pro, Xbox don't have a fucking Xbox Series Pro, them motherfuckers definitely getting out of their fucking hardware business. You're not gonna let your competition come out with a fucking far superior piece of hardware, and you're just gonna have people riding with the fucking Series X. Come on, brother, what are we doing here?
Jaydub, I just wish Sony would have never did that dumbass whatever that fuck that. X that handheld they got coming out.
No. That shit, I'm gonna be on. Mark my words, Big Money. That shit's gonna be successful. Just mark my words.
Man, I don't know about that, bro. Because if that thing is over 100, it can't be over $100, man. And I'm
what?
Oh, it's gonna be like $250, right?
Big money.
Yeah, it's gonna be about $250, bro.
The Logitech G Cloud costs $329, brother. That's just a stream.
But listen, it's other handhelds out there that's way better than that. And all you can do,
but they don't have PlayStation games.
I thought you was gonna be able to go somewhere with that. You can't go nowhere with that.
But it has PlayStation. Think about the people that don't have a PlayStation or something.
You can't go outside with that. You can't go nowhere and play your games with that. Like
the kids do it all the time.
Big money. This was like the first conversation we had with this. Was off the rumors of it when they finally showed it. They gave more information now. This is for cloud streaming as well. It's not just for local. So I think the device is going to be about $200. That's what Microsoft said in the court case. What they think is going to run about $200, right? So if they're going to leverage this and say you can be at work as long as you got a Wi-Fi signal, you can fucking stream your games. I'm not saying it's for me. I'm not saying it's for you. I don't give a fuck who it's for. I'm just telling you what the product can do and what they're going to try to sell it as. If they can tell you big money, you can be at work taking a shit on your break. And you can, as long as you got a Wi-Fi connection, you can be fucking playing some God of War at 1080p, 60 frames a second. The bitch gonna work, right? If you're at home, you laying in the bed, the motherfucker gonna work. Listen, I done paid $6.99, $7.99.
It's this, hey, Jaydub, you know it's a I forgot the name of it. It's this one thing out there, I forget. But it's like $99, bro. Is that what? Say that again.
The Ioneo? No.
I forgot the name of it, but it's like $99. It's killing that. That's what I'm saying. It's making that obsolete, bro. And it's a little old thing you can hook up. Like you don't. Yeah. I just don't see.
Nobody want that cheap shit. Nobody gonna do that.
Cheap. It's not cheap. It's $99. It's cheap in price, but it's not like no what. I'm telling you, everybody.
Let me tell you what I got, Big Money. Let me tell you what I got. I got the Asus ROG Ally. I got the Steam Deck. I got the Logitech G Cloud.
You can go to your Steam Deck.
No, listen. Ain't nobody listen. The Steam Deck is constantly sold out. The Ally is fucking selling great. And believe it or not, but the Logitech G Cloud sold a fucking lot. It sold all its pre-orders and shit, right? So it's not for you, and you might say ain't nobody buying it. But these type of devices,
these younger kids are though.
Right. No, what I'm trying to get Big Money to understand, right? Because Big Money was saying that fucking he was the anti Steam Deck dude, right? And I was the Steam Deck dude, and fucking Steam Deck been fucking kicking everybody's ass, right? So as someone who dabbles in all of this stuff, I'm telling you, it's not for you. It's for everybody else. And there's more of everybody else than there are of you.
Now, you know what, Jaydub? Now, I guarantee you, on this, I can guarantee that motherfucking thing is not going to, it's not. It's not going to, especially if it's, now, I can put it to you like this. If
Big Money.
It depends on how many they build.
We
but-
had the same discussion.
If it's over $200, bro, that thing is not gonna sell well.
Big Money,
I got a bad feeling it's gonna be more than $200.
Big Money,
I got a bad feeling it's gonna be more than $200.
Have you, brother? Let me ask you this: have you not learned anything from
bro? That motherfucking thing is not gonna sell. I put everything on that. It's not gonna sell, bro.
But what if they only made like a couple million? What I mean,
when it comes out, Jaydub.
Yeah.
But what's your definition of not selling?
Right here.
Because if they're projecting, oh, they're going to try to sell 100 million of them, yeah, that's a different thing than or 20
but you
million.
know what? That's you know that's what people,
just a million.
Like VR,
they could build a million. They could sell
like
a million
VR.
of those.
People say the VR2 was useless and it wasn't going to do well, and the motherfucker outsold the first one within the first couple of weeks, right? So people always look at. But here's the thing: what won't sell? What won't sell is if you make a native handheld device and you charge people $600-$700 for it. That's for the console, and the reason it's not going to sell, right, is because by the time you launch that, the hardware is already outdated.
Yeah.
So then the developers, it's going to be like the whole Series S thing, right? Where they're struggling to be able to put games on the Series S right now, and the generation just started. So it's that's why I think dedicated handheld devices for consoles, it's a non-starter.
The Vita was like that
they
problem
have
too.
to be, in order for them to be good, you have to price them at $400, $500, $600.
Yeah.
People are not willing to pay $400, $500, $600 for console shit. But PC shit.
That's why it was smart for what Nintendo's doing.
Everybody spent $500, $600 on a Steam Deck.
Yeah, Jaydub, and think about it. If you want that kind of horsepower, just put an app on your fucking mobile phone. You know what I mean?
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
That's why I say like the VR was different when it comes to, because it wasn't too much competition out there as far as VR. Sony had right now the best VR device out there, but when you compare that thing to other mobile devices, I just think everybody else would be okay. I'd rather get a Steam Deck, or I'd rather get Nintendo shit, or I'd rather get this other thing. I forgot the name of it for $99.
Hold on, but Big Money. You feeling the real?
When you look at the whole span of all these devices, I just think that, like I said, I'm not saying it's not going to sell, but I don't think it's going to sell well.
Okay, so here's the thing, Big Money. I get what you're saying, but they're not, the target for this device is not for anybody outside of fucking PlayStation ecosystem. They don't care about fucking PC or Xbox or Nintendo, right? They only care about PlayStation 5 gamers. So clearly they're not going to make 100,000 of these devices because there's only 45 to 50 PlayStation 5s in the wild. So they're going to make maybe 5 million, right? They're going to make 5 of them, and then they're going to be cheap. They're not going to be $500. They're not going to be $300 either, but call it $199, right? Fuck it. Call it $199. I'm going to tell you already off the rip. I'm buying 2. I know Z buying 2. And maybe everybody else up on the panel going to buy some, because we buy everything, right? We're the hardcore. We buy everything. And everybody, all the fucking ponies, one thing you can say about them, they buy their fucking hardware. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sick, and I've been talking for a while. Buck already told you.
Yeah, I know. Hey, listen, we've been going 2 hours, so we didn't.
Yeah, drink some honey. Drink some honey. That help with
a taste of honey.
That's what I'm getting right now.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody watching too.
Yeah, but
hey, did you guys see that shit about the Apple VR shit? They cut back production.
Don't listen. I'm not listening to that shit. You know why I'm not listening to it?
Because it's probably the same one that said the shit about the PlayStation VR one.
Absolutely. All of these fake rumors about people cutting production. Sony saying we never cut production.
Was that Bloomberg? Was that where that article came from?
That was Bloomberg and The Verge. The Verge and Bloomberg. They both said that shit. And I kept telling you guys, I kept telling dudes, listen, if the shit ain't come from Sony, I ain't listening to it. And the
That almost
motherfuckers
seems. Does it feel like sometimes that those kind of articles are almost like paid promotion though, in a way? Because it's like if you got a certain think about
like
this.
marketing.
Yeah, think about this. You got a certain amount of projections, and if you're not, maybe you're not hitting them, or maybe you are hitting them. But these articles, they put an article out saying, "Oh, we might not hit this projection, right?" Or they're not doing this and that, and then it comes out and they exceed that. It just looks good, on either front. You think maybe that's a thing?
No, they play both sides. That's what they do.
Oh.
They'll make an article saying that this is going to be great, and then a day later they'll make an article saying this is going to be bad. And then they do this that way. They're double dipping in their clicks and all this shit like that. It's marketing 101. That's just what they do. They have no integrity anymore. Integrity in journalism.
They're both paid promotion then, yeah.
Yeah. This is why these fucking guys get paid what, $20 an article and shit. Remember we found that shit out? IGN was paying people $20 an article or whatever. Then you wonder why they start fucking fanboying and joining us, right? And shit that they do to try to get their own podcast. And shit.
Yeah, people don't know that
they don't get paid.
People don't know that a lot of the outlets, it's just pay. It's called pay promotion. You pay for stories and get you talked about.
So anytime I hear something that says cutting projections, for one, Sony never put projections out there, right? So if they didn't tell you how many fucking VRs that they were gonna make in their first run or something like that, then how do you know they fucking cut anything? And then, of course, as a corporation, you don't fucking respond to every fucking clickbait article. You'll fucking run yourself crazy. You just let that shit be.
Well, Microsoft does.
Yeah, but they also employ a whole fucking fan base of dudes that sell they try to sell their products to themselves, basically. Because clearly nobody else is buying. That's what I don't understand. If you're repping Xbox and you rallying Microsoft, who are you selling to? You are the consumer. You are the fan base. Nobody else.
You're
is
already
listening
opted
to you
in
because your sales is shit. Nobody's listening to you. So if you go out there screaming, Xbox is great every single day, but nobody's listening because nobody's buying this shit. But you see Nintendo and fucking PlayStation's flying off the shelf and they breaking records every month. Clearly, you're the fucking odd redheaded stepchild in the back. But these guys are paying you to do all this promotion. Who the fuck are you promoting to? It's like they get in these little Xbox bubbles. They don't want nobody else in there. And they just tell themselves, Xbox is great, Xbox is great, Xbox is great. And then it's like, okay, that's fine. You can do that. But if nobody else is hearing, are you selling this to anybody else? It's not selling. How do you fix that? How do you change these people's mentality? My whole thing is,
think about it. You fucking can't now because they trained them not to buy games, so they're fucked now. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, but here's the thing. I don't need to. I'm gonna be honest. This is why I just say you just fall back on the games, right? If you think about Nintendo, their games sell themselves. Sony's games, right? They sell themselves. They show you a trailer. The shit look fire. It's big blockbuster over the top. You got fucking Spider-Man. You got God of War. You got all this shit. Just that trailer is going to sell you on the game. You don't have to really know much anything else about it. Now, a commercial with Game Pass, it's like a fucking brochure, right? Who the fuck want to look through a fucking brochure? Like, this is not the 80s anymore. But like,
Microsoft is not selling you their games. They're selling you like their accessories. Like, you can get all this at a budget. That's the only thing. They're not worried about how the games are. They just worried about you just linking into their ecosystem. That's it. That's all they're worried about. They don't care if the game is good or bad. They don't care if it's AAA or AA. They just want you to be in that ecosystem. They don't care about. They just care about their accessories. They don't care about the journey you go on. That's why I love Sony games. They put, especially their studio, but because they put so much into their stories, the gameplay, everything that we love about them, they put into their games. But
it's made with like their games is made like somebody gave a fuck, right? Like they put a lot of effort into like the audio. They put a lot of effort into the graphics. They put a lot of effort into the writing. Like it's a lot of shit to that. But you fucking boot up Xbox game. You just don't see. It's not the same love. Bro.
Hey, compare a game like Redfall that just came out to one that came out a while ago, an indie one for PlayStation, that Stray game, and look at the difference in the quality and how them games play and all that. You know what I mean? It's just you can tell that somebody cared about making that game. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying, right? And even if they don't make it, even when Sony partners with a company or whatever, you can tell that they chose a partner that cared about their fucking game. Like it fit. It's like, yeah, this fits a PlayStation platform because it has great writing. The graphics are great. Even if it's an indie game, right? Stray was an indie game. And the motherfuckers
Game Pass.
Guess what?
It's coming to Game Pass.
It was still, it was. I'm just saying,
Jaydub, did you see them camping about GTA 5 finally being in Game Pass, acting like it's validation, like it came day and date or some shit? It's like, get the fuck out of here.
Wait, I thought it's been in Game Pass before.
Even though that shit been in PlayStation Plus since the launch of PlayStation 5.
Yep.
But wait, wasn't GTA 5 in Game Pass a long time ago?
Yeah, last generation, I think.
Yeah, last gen it was, yeah. Well, GTA 5 was in 3 generations of gaming, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 15 fucking years. I'm going to be honest. At this point in time, bro.
If I could play the single player, I'll go play it.
There's no sense of arguing with dudes like that. Like, us having, like, just a civilized conversation. Because what else can you argue about? Like, what are we arguing about? Are we arguing about the power? No, we're not arguing about power.
No, and they're just fanboys. They don't even know what the fuck they're arguing about nine chances out of 10. You know what I mean?
Well, okay, you're seeing a little bit of depth to that. A little bit recent poking out. Now the story is kind of going to like, oh, we're defending our community, and our community is this, and you guys are jealous of our community because we're friends with
the executives,
and shit. So there's that part that is going on.
Yeah, they keep saying, "Why aren't you friends with Jim Ryan?" We're like, we don't give a fuck about the executives. We care about the goddamn game.
I'm just saying. I'm seeing that's where the fight is going right now.
It was. I told y'all it was. I told you it was going to end up being a full blown cult. And anytime you have a gamer tell you that it's not about the games, it's about the relationships and the bond that you build with fucking executive suits.
The Sarah Bond.
Yeah, it's over. It's over.
And that's what like when you ask an Xbox, you ask them right now, like, what's your favorite thing about the Xbox? The last thing they, and sometimes they don't even mention it, is the games. They are talking about the connectivity, playing with your friends, and
the ecosystem.
And the last thing they name is games. That's the last thing they name is games.
Yeah, they just want to get back at the PlayStation community at this point.
Yeah,
that's all they want to do.
But Phil looked really cool when he came out of that courtroom. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that shit was just pathetic. Them acting like, oh, look at him. It's like, get the fuck out of here.
He looks like he looks like a doughy, middle-aged doughy guy walking out of the courtroom with a coffee. That's what he looks like. What?
Hey, look, I don't know if you remember me saying this. I said, listen, I'm not the richest guy in the world, but I'm not doing pretty bad, right? But when I go to work, my fucking suit is fried, dyed, and laid to the side. My man, I said this, right? And this finna trip you out. I said, hold up. Why do Phil look like he shot off the rack?
Men's Warehouse.
Like, yeah, like he went to Men's Warehouse and he grabbed a fucking
That's what shit I would wear
from the back of the closet, right?
I'd wear I could get away with it though.
He tweeted that out. He was like, "Yeah, you guys barely see me, and it felt uncomfortable. I had to grab a suit from the back of the closet." I said, "What the fuck did I tell you? I told you I know a back of the closet fucking department store suit coat when I see one." Like,
you can tell a tailored suit when you see it. You can as soon as you see it, you know it.
But see, that's
don't
pandering
even have to
too.
be tailored, but just a nice suit, like a nice quality made.
Yeah, they stand out. You can tell them from a mile away.
Jaydub, see, you're missing it though. He is. It probably is a little bit a pandering thing. Like I'm working class. He's trying to kind of ingratiate himself to like a middle class, audience. I think.
I'm gonna be honest, man.
Or his lawyer said, "Do it. You won't look like you're a rich fuck." Basically,
Listen.
That's probably what it was. So,
man, listen, you ain't
not gonna judge him too harshly on his fucking.
You ain't fooling nobody.
I wear all black, so I can't.
The company that you work for is worth $3 trillion, right? I'm gonna be honest. Company I work for is not worth $3 trillion, but I guarantee you, when we show up to work, we got some of the fucking best suits money can buy. That's just off GP. That's just regular everyday work. Like, why am I dressing like I went to the dollar store and I got my grandma to fucking grab me some shit off the rack because I forgot? Like, come on, man. Like, that shit is.
There is also
bro.
that new. He might also be trying to look like he's one of the new, like these new business billionaires who.
New. The dude's been
I know.
for almost 25 years. Like,
yeah, I know. But that's the new hip CEO in this day and age. They don't wear the fucking tie. Listen, they come in with tennis shoes on and looking like Lex Luthor and fucking man.
I'm gonna tell you this.
He might be trying to go for that kind of thing. I'm just saying.
No, because I dress like that sometimes, right? Especially on Fridays. But for guys that dress like that, your sport coat, it's still gonna fit you just right. Right? It's still a nice coat. Like, somebody can tell you didn't just fucking buy this shit from fucking JCPenney's in the back on the sale. Dude, you make $1 million a year. Over $1 million a year.
Yeah.
You can't spend a fraction of that just on a couple of nice shirts, some nice slacks. Like,
this is a guy that like Voodoo Vince and shit. So what does he know?
Oh no, man! But that goes back to the story I was telling you earlier about how my dad taught me not to fucking be a loser, not to hang around losers, and not to adopt a loser mentality. Some people get caught up like in a little circle, and I call them the pity group, the therapy group. What do you call those groups? They kind of help each other.
Oh, like group therapy? Like
group therapy, right? Yeah. You kind of hang around like-minded just to kind of help you cope with some
support group.
Yeah.
A support group.
Coping skills.
A support group. That's what the Xbox community has kind of become.
They're a bucket of crabs.
They lost the console war. So it stopped being about games. They lost the hardware war. It's no longer about power because they fucking ain't got the power. So now it's like, fuck it. We got the best executives. We just gonna fucking ride the executive coattail. We number one in executive. It's like, man, have you really stooped that low? Has gaming for all, and again, this is very small because we know the majority of gamers are not on YouTube. They're not on Twitter, right? So those people on Twitter and YouTube, they're just the ones in our circle. Clearly, because if you ever watch any of Colt's or Tim Dog's tweets with the polls, they win them like 100% to 0 every time. But when NPD comes out or the sales number come out, it doesn't reflect that poll. So clearly, that's why I said being in a group therapy session.
Hey, what the hell happened to Colt? Remember Colt saying that the Xbox was outselling the PS5? Remember that a couple months back? Whatever happened to that?
Oh, yeah, I got the clip. You heard it here first, Fonz. You heard it here first.
Rumor has it.
Rumor has it that the Xbox is slightly ahead worldwide, and then they showed them numbers. Phil said, "Oh my god." That fucking PlayStation like 45 million, the Xbox 20, 21 million.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure if you go back to whenever he said that week, they were probably really down bad, and he was just giving him a pep. It's like, remember in high school, pep assembly. You had to sit in the fucking gym and act like you had school spirit because you lost the fucking previous week or whatever. It's like that.
I ain't gonna lie. I enjoy those guys, like the content. Like, I don't watch their shit, right? I don't watch their content and shit. But it has kind of made it a little bit fun to be able to like see all the shit, the crazy shit that they used to say. It's like the reverse happened, the opposite happened. Like they said, well, we gotta have the most powerful hardware and the full RDNA 2, and the opposite happened, right? Then they said, yo, we're gonna didn't Post Up lose that bet to Porter Rock? Said he said that the PlayStation 5 wasn't gonna outsell the Xbox Series SX. That shit fucking happened. You know what I'm saying? So
all the games getting delayed and all that shit
tools
was
now you got games coming out on PS5 and PC and Nintendo, but not Xbox because the shit can't run on.
Also, every game subsequently was supposed to change the tides.
Yeah,
now we're at Starfield, but think about it. It was like 5-6 games in a row where it was like, this is gonna, Halo was gonna be the fucking game, at one point.
Yeah, Halo was going to
completely change the tides.
Redfall was going to be the savior. And then it's going to be Starfield.
And that I feel bad for because I like Halo.
No, it just kills me on how they was hyping up Redfall, and now they say nothing about Redfall. They don't even acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro, that is so sad.
Some of them say you just got to play it on PC, but those are like the ones that are just like really hanging on.
Did you guys see the numbers about Halo? They said about the drop off. Did you see the Steam? The total number, the highest peak of Halo players on Steam was only 278,000 people.
Yeah, but remember Ridge argued me up and down.
That's fucking insane. So where's these millions of people if that's your probably biggest player base and there's not even a million on there?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
I don't know.
It's crazy.
That's kind of a wash. I mean, obviously that was kind of...
Well, Halo is number 1 on Game Pass, so there
more players.
Right?
Hey, I don't understand motherfuckers that niggas say Halo is number 1 on Xbox. You mean the least amount of players on that console is? I'm like, bro, that's a bad thing, right? I don't understand. Like, I don't think why these guys think Halo being up there on Xbox.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not that good on PC and the numbers just drop it, you think Microsoft is happy just letting Xbox on to carry Halo? Why the fuck y'all think they put it on PC to begin with?
Mm-hmm.
These motherfuckers is dumb as shit, bro. If Halo was doing great on PC and it was not doing good on Xbox, Microsoft could live with that shit. But the other way around, hell no.
Yeah,
that's a recipe for disaster, bro.
Well, I mean, they've already been restructuring it though, so I think it's just one of those things. Like, some games have their time, and I think Halo had its time, and
Halo
I don't think it's ever going to come back to be what it was once, but it could still be good, and have a solid community and stuff. They just got to
because
fix it up.
How many arena shooters are left? You know what I mean?
Halo
like Quake and shit, and that's it.
Hey, you guys, this is the problem, right? When Halo was on 360, the numbers that it was doing, that's exact same numbers it's doing now. But the problem is that numbers is too low for today's generation. You just can't do that same number. Halo is doing exactly what it was doing on 360 days. And that's the problem, is that those numbers today are just extremely low compared to likes of Destiny and a whole bunch of games like COD. Right? Back then on 360, if Halo was doing that number, that's considered good. Today, that number is not good. If you're Microsoft, the 360 numbers is just not good.
Yeah,
like, it's just not that good. And the thing is that the people just don't care for arena shooter. And Halo's slow. Like, and I've been saying this. That type of game,
compared to other shooters, yeah.
That type of game, people just not like it's too slow. I mean, you got games like Apex Legend, Call of Duty, like fast-paced games. These kids like fast-paced games. They're not gonna be running like walking around on the map, like on a big ass map, looking for people. They're not doing that shit.
Okay, so to get this one topic that I do have in the title out of the way, is that real? So, who confirmed the PS5 Slim? Was it Microsoft on accident or something? Is there any truth to that story? I didn't really look into it.
Yeah, it was one of them. I can't remember. But most of the slip ups, I think, been on Microsoft's side.
Yeah, but you think that I mean, so that's a real thing that's coming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because think about it. They have the same contacts at AMD. You know what I mean? Shit always slips out. They know what's coming. They all know. You know what I mean?
We don't have any more than that. We don't have any like time frame.
No.
They
Probably
can't.
right before Spider-Man comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because think about it, you bundle it with the new one, and your sales are really, you know what I mean? It's the smart thing to do.
I mean, that's what I had always hoped for.
Gonna be, though? How much y'all think it's gonna be?
No, it's what, the Slim?
Yeah, how much you think the Slim gonna be?
No, it's the Slim is going to replace the digital. So it's
Yeah, the old one. Yeah.
The $399.
And then if you want a disk drive, you can buy one.
Yeah, an extra $50.
Oh,
buy one.
that is awesome. Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm almost kind of glad that I waited.
So they're going to phase out the big.
I'm hoping now that they're on x86, we get a new console about every 5 years. If they would do a refresh every 5 years, I think that would be okay.
I'm
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna tell you why that's not going to happen. At least it's not going to happen this generation. It's not going to happen because it seems like every time we start getting started on the original path that we used to do back in the day, some shit happens, right? The last time that the consoles were extended longer years because the global recession.
The only reason why I'm
This
saying that
time-
because now everything's
this
being
time
on
it's a pandemic.
x86.
Well, yeah, but even if it wasn't, I'm just saying, I'm just using it for
Like really now there's no more console generations now that everything's on x86 because everything will go for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything
No,
carries over.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, here's
That's
the
what I
thing.
mean. You know what I mean? Where it's not like a full gen, but they can do a refresh to get, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest. I still, even though it's the same architecture, it's gonna be hard to, if you don't show people a major difference, it's gonna be hard to just do the whole, oh, this is a slight bit step up. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta. It's like even with the Xbox, right? They don't have any games that doesn't look like they can be ran on last generation. At least PlayStation got some games. You look like, yeah, this couldn't be ran on this old system, unless the bitch was gonna have fucking 5-minute loading screens. This shit is just gonna be completely compromised and a lot of functionalities removed away. I get it from that standpoint, but technology is just not growing as fast, I guess, as it would need to for us to get to that point. It's just not. Even with like a 3090 and a 4090, right? A generation apart, but one is not outdoing the other by a landslide like you think it should. It's just not.
I don't
The
know
only
why I
way
didn't
it
see
is-
this. I didn't know why. Hold on. Not to cut you off. I didn't know why I didn't see this comment before, but Max City, he said, y'all got to complain about Jesus next.
He said Hellblade. He said Hellblade 2 and Fable, best looking games ever. Yeah, at 30 frames. Mac, what happened to that 4K 60 no compromise?
Oh yeah.
What happened? Remember the Series S, the potato is holding it back, Mac. I hate to say it, brother.
Y'all, what the fuck are they excited with Fable for? You mean a Jack and the Beanstalk story? That's I'm trying to see what the fuck are they excited for, because I didn't see nothing that was exciting with that game, bro.
They listen. They just excited.
I don't know why people
have
like
some
the first
fucking
one,
games.
honestly.
even in development at this point in time. I mean, these dudes.
I think the first Fable is overrated. That's my opinion. But I'll give this one a chance, though.
So I guess this game gonna actually deal with actual fables this time, right? Because they had the Jack and Beanstalk thing. I guess they gonna deal with actual fables now within the game. It seems like.
Yeah, maybe they'll do different fables. Maybe it's not just all Jack and the Beanstalk. Maybe you get there and it's Hansel and Gretel. You don't know. You could go anywhere,
bruh.
Three bears or whatever.
I've seen nothing exciting about that showcase, bro. Nothing exciting about that.
Well, here's the reality you have, Big Money. Here's the reality.
Got the budget.
The reality is not about what they showed. It was about the fact that Sony didn't show what they were supposed to show, and at the end of the day, it's all about making sure that Sony looks bad. It's not about making Xbox look good. And that's their focus. Their focus is on making Xbox look bad, not about Xbox looking good. They don't care. As long as they have Phil Spencer and their executives, they're content. That's really it. That's the reality. That's why I said the console war is over. There's no sense of like debating numbskulls. Like, what are you going to debate with them? Are you going to debate games, hardware, T-flops? Like, there's nothing else left
It's
to
the
debate.
community now. It's the like I said, our community is better than yours because it's different culture. That's what it's gonna
Arguing with a. I'm not arguing with some niggas over some goddamn.
You're just jealous, Jaydub, that Herman Hulse doesn't invite you onto his yacht. That you're just jealous. Okay.
That'll really play over well with my wife. Tell her I'm arguing with some fucking grown man on the internet about some other grown fucking man.
Some white man
that's talking to me. Yeah,
inviting you on
these white dudes don't invite me over on their yacht. You know what I'm saying? They can have it, bro. I'll let them win. They won a generation. Fuck it. I'm gonna just sit back and play my Spider-Man when that bitch dropped.
But I get that to an extent, though. With, people
to the right.
Yeah, it defending their community because in the end, it is a group of people that all talk to each other, and they have a mutual interest. Whether that interest is something that we can't wrap our head around. It is a community, so and from that perspective, I get it. But you're not really slinging real fucking ammunition at this point, as far as console war goes. Like,
hey man, did Z PS5 really overheat on him?
The what?
Did Z PS5 did it overheat for real?
Oh yeah, it did. Live on the air, live on stream.
Well, yeah, it was real muggy and shit, and the humidity was up real high, and it was real hot that day.
Well, Z said he ain't. After that point, he hadn't turned his PlayStation on in about a year.
Yeah.
Hey, one good thing is we might find out a little bit more about Spider-Man at Comic-Con because it's supposed to be there, I guess.
Yep.
Okay, there another show
coming
coming
new gameplay or something.
Was it a Tokyo Game Show or something? Something like that.
Comic-Con's this month. Comic-Con's like the third week in July or some shit. But yeah, Tokyo Game Show's coming up too. Yeah, that's coming up. And then Gamescom will be in August, I think.
Yeah, and then Xbox is showing shit at Gamescom too. That's
yeah.
300 million, bro. They got a fucking deal with them, bro. Cause
Insomniac's been a workhorse.
A work fucking horse, man. For 300 million, they killing everybody, bro. And the games that they putting out are so fucking good. Wait. Of them, you don't look at none of them and be like, well, so all them motherfuckers are bangers they put out, bro. Like,
Max City's claiming he gets a stipend from Xbox. They pay you, Mac? Where do I get my money?
He's probably talking about that stupid ass reward shit, which they've been cutting that back little by little too.
Spider-Man 2 looks last generation too, he said.
No, get the hell out of here. At least it'll have ray tracing. Halo doesn't. Halo just got ray tracing like 2
Well, you know
weeks
what
ago.
really looks last generation, or last generation is fucking Redfall.
Redfall,
That looks
yeah,
two
Redfall
generations
looks,
ago.
And
What the hell?
Avowed too. That shit. Avowed looked like a 360 game too.
Let me say this, right? Let me say this. When that game Baldur's Gate comes out and it does great, they're gonna be mad, right? Watch, they're gonna either be mad at Sony or they're gonna be mad at the developers. Even though the developers have been out asking Microsoft for help because they don't know how to put that game on a Series S because of that split memory being fucking up. Notice nobody cares to say nothing, but if that game comes out and does great and they want it on Xbox, the boss gonna come out and blame Sony for that shit. Even though the developers of Baldur's Gate been asking Microsoft for help, they literally they've been out asking Microsoft for help, like because they don't know how to get that game running on the Series S. Shit. Watch how easily they'll just forget that the devs came out asking Microsoft for
They also asked them to drop the mandate too.
Man, I think we've said everything there is to say except so to wind this down, something bad about Jesus. Do you have a complaint about Jesus?
What?
Do you have a complaint about Jesus? So
You've been talking about Phil Spencer, Manhattan. You know Jesus, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Because I think we've covered everything. If you have a complaint on that front.
Oh well, listen, man. Jesus is not giving these guys enough bread and wine, bro. It is what it is. They're starving out there.
And of course, we don't mean the real Jesus, but
I know.
But you know, shit. There's nothing more to say except, goddamn, I didn't think I could top Z being saying Xbox is dog shit because I thought we were gonna have a more level. I thought motherfuckers were gonna come and argue, and say Xbox is amazing, and then somebody would say Xbox is dog shit.
Those days are over.
I guess it is.
You gotta understand, everybody's too busy watching this CMA shit, man. This is the strangest gaming era I ever been. I'm witnessing. Like, this is so weird that like dudes just literally would rather just be like tuned into court case. Like I've never seen that.
That's another reason why we need this ET fucking disclosure. So we could talk about something else. Let's start cleaning up the environment.
Right, aliens can show up tomorrow, and these motherfuckers still gonna be watching that court case.
But imagine the video games we would get if we started disclosing some of this technology. How fast fucking video games would fucking even move? Like VR.
It'd be VR, but you'd be in there in your conscience.
It would. Yes,
you know what I mean?
It would beam directly into your conscience. Totally.
I do wonder, right?
Consciousness-based
like how many
video games.
The fact that so many people tune into this one FTC case. But there's case like this that happened, right, where it's actually either beneficial or bad for the people. Niggas never tune into stuff like this, right? They pass bad laws, good laws, or laws they trying to pass that's bad. I don't want to be seeing none of these dudes be like, yo, we should tune into this and make sure they're not trying to fuck us over. But shit gets over, like, repeal all bunch of shit. Everybody's like, wait, what the fuck? This is fucked up. I mean, but you dudes will rather tune into fucking FTC shit than actual shit. Like, that's going to impact you 10 years from now.
It's unfortunate painting them in this way just because.
No, I'm just simply saying, like, if you want to tune into shit, there's a bunch of shit that way they motherfuckers go to court. They're trying to like pass some shady ass laws. If dudes had the same energy, bro, I promise you, man, a lot of the weird shit that they be trying to pass won't get through.
Yeah, but when they have the mentality and they don't understand what it is, and they're just against it for whatever reason, it doesn't matter because unless you're educated in the first place and you're media literate, you're just gonna it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, but they're not educated on this shit. They're not lawyers, and they're still watching this dumb bullshit.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And, you know what I mean?
If you don't have media literacy, you don't even understand. You're framing it as if it's fucking Xbox versus Sony rather than it's FTC is on the uphill battle. They're the ones who have the uphill battle. They don't have fucking power fucking lawyers from fucking Hollywood to fucking New York. You know what I mean? like it's so the way you're framing it in the first place is fucking ridiculous. Anyway, we could go on and on about that, but Jaydub's dying over here. We did 2 hours and 40 minutes ranting.
Yo, get you some organic honey, bro.
Yeah.
Put lemon and
wind it down here to nothing.
Or boil some lemon and add honey to it and drink it.
Yeah, he's about to have an asthma attack. You know, so
hey, Manhattan, I'm over here at the second crib, bro. I'm isolated. You need to send me one of them big booty African chicks that you be hollering at from Africa, man. Send them over here.
I got you, man. Oh, you still in Canada?
Nah. Bro, I made it back from Canada on Friday. I started feeling like shit on Saturday, man. It's Wednesday.
You got that travel ick.
Bruh, it never fails, man. And I'm supposed to be, if I ain't better by the weekend, I ain't gonna be able to go. I'm supposed to be flying to London, hanging out there, and being from there, going to play some golf in Scotland. So I'm like, man, I need to get better.
Take some zinc. Take some zinc.
Man, I've been taking every goddamn thing.
All right, we're gonna play this clip out then.
All right, y'all take it easy, brothers.
Let me play this clip. This is some on the what is it called? Clip that. I don't think a lot of people have seen this, so I want to play some of these, but I'm gonna end it on that. Let me see. Play now.
I want you. Can you read it for the audience, please?
I mean, they already know what it says, but
I want you. Yeah, I want you to read it. And this, it may, and as you read.
Oh man, are we done? What?
Who was just calling me live on Facebook Messenger?
I'm so tired.
Hello.
Bro.
Yo, who this? Where the guns at? My God. Oh, the girls. Yeah, who this? Jay, I can't even I keep breaking up. Jay from where?
South Carolina.
Jay from South Carolina. And you know me how? You know me where? I see some sex links in here. What the hell?
Yeah, man, I'm trying to find females, man. Said this is the little hookup.
Hey, brother, I'm a God-fearing man. What the hell is going on here? I'm live in here. I was that nigga tripping.
We on.
Hey, yo, what the fuck is going on in here, man? Hey, yo, somebody clip that, man. God damn. $350,000 in the bank. And I told her, look, take that. I'm going to start a new account. And so that's the way.
And it says only 12% of motherfuckers have be forbidden West. Which one on this?
15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Are we talking fractions or percentages?
Oh, Horizon. 12% of people that bought the game, only 12% beat it.
What the fuck is this nigga talking about? I don't think you understood.
It's context to why I said that.
Oh, okay.
Y'all don't understand sarcasm.
Sarcasm. All right, so I'm going to
sarcasm.
All right. I'm going to hop out and play this audio right quick. See, this nigga here, right? Be wary of those that want to use a $65 word to describe a $2 sandwich.
Find that tweet. I need to find that tweet where that guy or that person that used to work for IGN exposed where Sony and Square Enix were in collusion.
And who?
Who?
Okay, now I'm back. Now, Pastor, why we got to apologize to
Y'all got style out here.
That you might be dealing with a coon. You might be. I didn't say that you are, but you might be.
Oh, absolutely. But why? But no. Hold on. Why do we got to apologize to Phil, Pastor?
Oh shit, Pastor?
Yes.
Oh, Pastor got to answer that.
Yeah. Why do we have to apologize to Phil?
Yes.
Why?
Let me tell you why.
Let me tell you why.
Because Phil, he cares about black people.
Oh shit.
Be bronzes of him all around the world in each country to celebrate him.